Hey, hey, hey! Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. It's been a long year. 2019 was not the year of Twilight Princess for sure. Nothing changed, basically. The game stayed the same, the route only ever so slightly changed, while Skyward Sword and The Wind Waker just took over. Became the games of big glitches and became so much faster. But hey, here we are. It's me, Tresco. I'll be your host and your commentator for today. So, without further ado, let's actually give me another minute. Because I need to do some more cropping, which I sadly forgot, but actually we should be good. So let's mute the music and let's dive in to the action. Here we are. Welcome to Twilight Princess.
Okay, I am. Okay, alright.
Oh. And let's see whose audio I can use. I didn't check that. And yeah, I will be your host on my own for now. Somebody will likely join later, but that's fine. I can handle it. You all know me. I'm flexible if I need to. If I need to be, I am Mr. Flexible. And yeah. Let me quickly check the cropping on all of these runners, because I noticed it's slightly off for MoFad. So let's quickly fix that. That's better. And now we're pretty much good to go. And now Nimzo joined, which is the final runner to join the ranks. And then we're pretty much good to go. So yeah, welcome to Twilight Princess again. So, you all should know that, well, TP was always, or like, for a long time, was the most broken modern 3D Zelda, if you consider these. Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild, maybe, which is like its own category, Skyward Sword and The Wind Waker. Between these, TP always was the most broken game. It had the most sequence breaks, it had like the most crazy tricks in it. And well, then 2019 happened, and like, Skyward Sword got reverse bit magic, which completely cut the game in half. The Wind Waker got barrier skip and all these nifty things that made it crazy. And ever since, TP was like trying hardcore, like actually hardcore, to find something. We tried so hard. We tried so hard to find something. But sadly, we couldn't. And we didn't yet. But the game is still strong. The game is still alive. And the runners are still pushing. So we are still hoping to find something. So this is the seeding race. Seeding race number 1. What we decided is, from the people that signed up, and that's actually, don't let me lie, we have 25 participants. From these 25 participants, not everybody has a PB or has an old PB. So we decided to actually do seeding by seeding races. These are not mandatory, and everybody that gets to join has one shot of setting a time. This time will be considered for seeding of the brackets later. Everybody that doesn't participate will just be seeded by their PB, with a penalty depending on how long that PB has been standing. So TP Wii runners, as far as I know, are not in this tournament. Although maybe somebody just didn't tell us. TP Wii is its very own speedrun, as you all likely know. But it's not that much longer. It's only like, if you use the top route, the actual fastest route, it's like 15 minutes slower. But the top route is so hard that nobody does it. And actually, we're good to go. Pitska apparently missed the start completely and just noticed it. Lou, I mean, you could join me. But yeah, let's just dive into the action while Pitska's actually cleaning up his files because he forgot. So, let's just check Case Master's stream. Audi is one of the favorites for this tournament, so let's check his stream and actually check his audio. So what he just did, he actually placed down a rock next to the gate and jumped between the gate and the rock, and that actually pushed him up and through the gate. And now he will hang down this bridge, open the map, and press A to let go of the bridge at the same frame, and then use the soft reset combination to reset the game. And that just spawned him on the title screen. You can just now see it on MoFed's screen. And this is called Back in Time. So basically, the title screen is an own map to actually play on. And if you actually reset on the same frame that the game voids link out, it will put the respawn animation that it's actually supposed to play, but not play it on the map that you died on, but on the title screen. And if you die there, you actually get full control. That's what Brugels just did. And you can do anything, including saving. And this save file is really important, because this save file does a few things. First, it gives you the tunic, the Hylian shield, and the sword, the Odin sword that is, you can see. Second, it massively pushes the game progress in form of flags further. So, Epona, that you're actually supposed to tame late in the game, is already tamed. The game is pretty much thinking that you already did all of the intro, all of the start, and already ran through Kakariko and saved Kakariko, brought it back to light. Which you still have to do late in the game, but the flags are partially set. Which means that so much progress and so much positive things for the speedrun are already done. This means that thanks to this gate clip combined with the entirety of this back in time stuff, we basically skip the entire tutorial. That's already a solid billion hours of gameplay we saved there. Not really, but you know what I mean. Hey Lou, what up? I did notice, Lou. What's going on, Lou?
This game, by the way. Well, I barely know anything, but
you know enough. Game audio is a bit too loud, so let me lower that. So yeah, Back in Time is a one-frame window, so it's frame perfect. We have this good setup though that you just saw on Pitska's side. You basically hold down or let go of the bridge, and one frame later you press both buttons. You can actually do this by just unplugging your controller and then holding both buttons. T4K seeding race just means that runners are playing and finishing in the time, and we'll use that time later to get a seeding for the tournament, so we know which player in which ranking should be where in the bracket. Lou!
Yeah.
What do you know about this game?
The basics, basically. Like, I've run TPHD, so I just basically know that, and... Yeah, actually, no, I ran all dungeon of this game once.
I was about to say.
But yeah, I just basically know the basics and the route.
That's something. So, now that Case Master just smashed the cage and freed Talo, what a stupid kid, by the way.
I hate that kid.
he already finished all of the tutorial, but that's basically the end of the tutorial. You get the wooden sword in a normal playthrough and save the kid. Too bad we didn't do any tutorial stuff. We also skipped a few items, which will be really important later. We skipped the fishing rod, for example, which is usually needed for a playthrough. In this case, it's not. Alright. What comes next? Lou, you know what comes next.
Oh, goats. Yeah. The favorite part of every speedrunner right there. It's amazing.
Did you open the commentary page, by the way?
No.
Why not?
Because I wasn't prepared for that.
So yeah, these are 20 goats. This is actually the second goat herding section. The first one that's part of the tutorial is skipped. And these 20 goats need to go into the hut. A really good time is like 16, 17, 18 seconds. Haas does it in like 12. But anything between like 17 and 21 is absolutely fine. Above that, you're getting a little salty, but that's fine. So, there's two different fast routes. Brugels does like something interesting, but yeah, he's getting trolled hard. These goats are not nice. Alright. Whoa! So...
Oh. That's another good part.
Yep. So if you know the game casually, you will wonder, why is this cutscene so weird? Yes. Usually, when you enter this cutscene, you already did so much stuff. You did Fair and Twilight, you did Kakariko, you did 2 dungeons already. 2 dungeons? I believe 2 dungeons already. So much stuff. But since we actually did the back in time stuff, Auden Village is already in a state where this all has happened, so the cutscene gets broken, and you actually have to talk to Bo every single time, instead of it being an actual cutscene. So this is full RNG. Audi obviously instantly gets trolled. Twice. Dang. So not a great start. If you get decent RNG and get a slap in on the first hit, you can actually push Bo off in 1 turn. If you mash faster than 11 button presses a second.
Yeah, I was about to say you have to mash real fast. It's insane.
Second phase, let's see what he gets. He doesn't get the slap. Second try, no slap. Third try, no slap. And now he gets it, and now he will just mash him. No, he didn't get the mash, actually.
Really?
But lucky enough. That's it. Yeah. Pitske actually having some major issues with the goats here.
Yeah, it's easy to lose a lot of time there.
And so we get our first item, the iron boots. You all know, if you play Twilight Princess casually, this item is not happening for a long time if you play it casually. Well, here, we just get it. And that's all we need from Auden. Bye-bye, Auden. Oh yeah, Loli, you're right. So this is actually the item you usually get before doing Goron Mines. And this is actually the entirety of Auden Village to us. We will never come back. Screw all these people, we don't like them anyways. We actually hate them. So fuck them. We're leaving. And what comes next? Lou, you know what comes next.
I actually don't remember that part.
Dang it.
That much.
Okay.
Well, from Sinker, I'm guessing we're gonna go to Hyrule sewers.
Yep. So, if you know the story in the game, like Ilya, the girl that Link has a crush on, and that has a crush on Link, actually is mad because she heard Epona, and Epona has like a like something is wrong about Epona, and she's actually hiding in the well and in the fountain and doesn't want to talk to Link. And Link just crawls in, and then Shadow Beasts come, and King Bubbling comes and just takes away half the children and kids from Orden Village and knocks down Link. And then Midna basically pulls him into the Twilight, or he actually gets pulled into the Twilight and turns wolf. And now we are wolf, and now we have Midna. Hello, Midna. Midna's Bay, obviously.
Yeah.
Best character in the entirety of the Zelda franchise.
She's one of the few companions that isn't annoying, I feel like, in any of the Zelda games. She just talks to you whenever she needs to.
Yep.
And that's it.
Tomorrow's race is at 7 p.m. UTC, so 2 hours earlier than today's. So yeah, now we just need to get out of the sewers, and while we're at it, you can just now see it on Brugel's side once he leaves this path. Right now, right in this cutscene, you actually learn how to use senses as Midna. Before you can't do it. And if you skip it, the cutscene, which you can't do in any percent, but could do in like stuff like Beta Quest, for example, you're not getting senses. Which are indeed needed. But yeah, this is pretty much glitch-free. There's just a small, tiny optimization that you can do right here, where Case Master just now enters. So you can just do a really precisely angled jump and just jump over a trigger. Saves 1.8 seconds. It's not that big a deal. You just skip a Midna text.
Yeah, Midna also lets you do like what it's called the Midna jumps, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Which lets you like go across longer path where you wouldn't be normally be able to cross.
Alright, so if you all paid attention, Case Master and the others actually saved right after getting the Iron Boots. That's gonna be important for another variant of Back in Time that we saw earlier, just done differently later. Back in the day, we were supposed to actually save up here on the castle rooftops as well. But this is part of the route change that actually was done last year. That was the only route change to any percent last year.
Wasn't there also like a forest temple Back in Time?
That's what I was talking about just now.
Okay.
Just a tiny thing. For some of these Midna jumps that actually have a text box attached to it, you can jump earlier than intended by just jumping on the first frame. Case Master just got that. And that's it for the sewers. We just met Zelda, by the way. Hey, Zelda. You're pretty useless in Twilight Princess.
She's a fun boss. Come on.
She is. Alright. Lou, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Explain it.
Oh, Sword and Shield skip. That's a trick I'm glad isn't in HD. But yeah, Sword and Shield skip basically, well, the name says it all. You skip basically the Orden Sword and the Orden Shield, and for that you need to do an enemy like LJ over a trigger that lets you go into the Twilight Realm, and it's fairly precise. But the thing is, you have to bait the Buckle Blend all the way to that trigger first, which takes some time, and it's really triggering every time you fail the trick.
Yep. We call him Hugo, and Hugo is a huge troll. So you might wonder, why do we need to get the sword and shield? Because we have them. You all see them on the back of Link's back. But I'll explain it once Audie got this. So he actually lures Hugo in a precise position, attacks him once, and then again. And he actually jumped over the trigger. That makes Midna jump up and say, hey, are you stupid? You need to get the sword and you need to get the shield. That's two items that you get in Orden Village. Orden Village is at night and everybody's scared of the wolf, and it's like a puzzle game where you need to evade all the Orden Village people. But since Audi, that's Case Master by the way, jumped in a precise way, Mofet just did it as well, really fast by the way. That was a super fast Sword and Shield skip. We call this an enemy LJA. So you all probably know the Boomerang LJA in TP. There's also one that's called the enemy LJA that you can also do on the Wii version, which means the aiming system of Twilight Princess is really specific in a way that you can jump to your targets even if they are far away, if they are above you or over a void. Which in this case, the enemy gets knocked into the air, is way above you, and allows you to actually jump further than intended. In this case, enough to jump over this trigger into the other trigger behind it that says, hey, you can go into the Twilight. And this is actually required in any percent, because if we didn't do it, we couldn't finish the game, because since we did back in time, the sword and the shield in Odin Village are not there, and you can't pick them up, because Odin Village is in a wrong state. But the flags are still not set.
That's good to know. Because I was about to ask if it would lose out a lot of time going back and getting the Sword and Shield, but I guess they're not even there anyway, so...
Yep.
Why is it even called Sword and Shield skip then, if they're not even there?
One second. I mean, I'll actually swap out Brugels and Pitske for now, because these two are the furthest behind, and swap in the other two that participate in this race, which are Simikins and Nimzo. These two are also racing today, so I think it's more than fitting to show them as well. And so in this way we'll actually swap between the runners every once in a while, just to show all of them. Just need to do some more cropping here, because Simikins is actually playing in widescreen. Simikins, why? Why are you doing this to me? Don't you have a heart?
Oh, you can clearly see it, yeah. Oh. I
Don't
didn't realize how bad it was, but damn. Now that you
Don't
mention it.
Don't you have a heart? Alright, I fixed it. So, before I go back to the explanation, more on Case Master's side. So, first try, he actually just got one of the most important tricks in the game. He used the new Midna charge that we learned, where you can actually charge an attack with Midna to lure this Shadow Beast to a wall, and then use the area attack to get out of bounds. And if you get on top of this ledge, you can just jump down through a wall that's not solid and land right in front of the forsaken Sacred Grove, which is the place of, yes, the Master Sword. Mofet is doing it just now, and this is a really precise area attack. You need a specific attack from the Shadow Beast. Mofet just got it, but messed up the timing, and a really precise timing to get up. It's not an easy trick. He'll try again. He gets the correct attack and gets it. Second try. Nicely done.
Nice, yeah.
So this actually allows us to get the Master Sword hours and hours early. Usually, to get the Master Sword, you need to have collected the final piece, the dungeon prize from Lakebed Temple, which is quite late in the game. Then Midna gets sick due to reasons and story that I'm not going over now. And then you get the Master Sword. So this is really late, and this allows us to completely rip the game apart.
Also, I don't know if you mentioned, but they're killing the bugs but not connecting the tiers yet for some, because it's gonna be faster when they're gonna come back to collect them.
That's actually a route difference, though, because that's on Simikin's side. He actually does the tiers because he's doing bite route, while the others are not doing it.
Oh, he's getting Zero Summer, that means, right?
He doesn't have to, but it's just a different route.
Okay. Because remember, oh wait, damn, Nims almost got it there. Because remember there was like a route with Zero Summer that was also a little bit different, if I remember correctly. There was like
stream just died on me. There you go. Let me give it a quick refresh. Oh yeah. He sadly is having some internet issues, so I'm actually swapping him out again. Sorry about that, folks, but yeah, he's just not stable. So now we're just... Oh yeah, actually that's something you can talk about, because that's the same in HD.
oh the fight right there.
Yep.
Yeah, well, basically Skull Kid just sends you a lot of puppets to go attack you, and it's gonna spawn in. If you do the fight right, technically he's always gonna spawn like in the same spots, and the goal is just to stall enough that when he's gonna blow his horns again, you can just dash attack it. Yeah, dash attack it, and then hit it. And you have to do it 3 times. You also have to not die, obviously, to the puppets. Because they can be sometimes pretty hasty and can be dangerous. But yeah, right after that, also, when you finish it, there's a puzzle that is pretty easy. Not once you've practiced it.
Yep. Fun fact about this puzzle, there's actually a multitude of solutions. And if you browse the internet to find the fastest solution, many FAQs and like walkthroughs actually suggest a solution that's slow as hell. We do the fastest. That's 12 steps. It's left down, 3 times up, 2 times right, down, 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 left, and up. You can also do it like right down, like pretty much mirrored, but that's whatever. And that's all we need. And once we did that, we get the Master Sword.
Yeah, it's insane how fast you can get a Master Sword in this game.
Yep.
Breath of the Wild is getting closer though. So new world record is 25 minutes, so PP gotta watch out.
So now Chaos Master's actually picking it up. And this Master Sword cutscene is unskippable, so it gives us a bit of time to talk about what this means. So, Master Sword in Twilight Princess basically allows for 2 things. It allows you to warp at any given time. If you have a warp point to warp to, that is. And second, it allows you to switch between human and wolf whenever you want, as long as no human is watching you. Which is easy to circumvent by just hiding behind a shield or like a sign or something. So this actually breaks the game apart. Hey, it's Chris. Hey, Chris.
Basically, yeah.
No, Louis helping me. I mean, he probably feels crappy because I keep talking over him and he has no chance to commentate, but...
I mean, it's fine. I don't bring out much anyway. You know, like this game better.
Wow.
He's just gonna kick me out of the channel and remove my commentator role if I do that.
Yeah, Chris, that's how it is.
I want to keep my role.
But yeah, this actually allows us to break the game open pretty much. We can completely sequence break everything that Twilight Princess throws at us now, just because we have the possibility to change between wolf and human at any time. And this is a big deal. This is part of what allows us to skip dungeon after dungeon, because we really do skip a lot of dungeons.
Doesn't the Master Sword do the... Yeah, the Master Sword does more damage, right?
That's also true, yeah. It does twice the damage.
It does help.
It does to many enemies, not to all of them. It just does twice the damage. So, for example, Ook, which is the first mini-boss that we are going to fight, just takes 1 cycle less, just because we have the Master Sword.
Yeah,
Alright.
it's those little things also that helps, I guess.
So, now you will see the difference in routing, because for now, the only difference so far was that you saw on Simikin's side that he picked up the vessel and actually grabbed a few tiers, while Case Master and the others are completely ignoring it. Let me actually check if Simikin's is stable again, because I kind of want to show off the bite route. Yeah, seems okay now. Okay. So, some more cropping on his side. And then we're good. So, Case Master just, in Twilight, switched to human, and this allows him to just roll through this mist, which actually just voids you out if you try it normally. And you have to actually get like the monkey and let the monkey steal your lantern and then just push him through, and that takes forever. Not so in any percent where you just can transform the human, skip the monkey.
Oh yeah, that's another thing Master Sword does. Also, it kills those shadow beasts like in one hit. You don't have to use the wolf form.
Yep. So now, since we are human, we can actually, without finishing the trial, we can just use the lantern and burn the web and get inside of Forest Temple, which is a big deal actually. So usually we're human and can't do it.
It's lucky that the loading trigger is there, yeah.
Yep. Alright, so now we actually do Back in Time Part 2. This is why Case Master is saving now. And now he will actually perform Back in Time again. This time we have no setup, but we actually do a jump attack at a specific position, and after 3 frames, we hold up the item menu and just reset, and that's the correct setup. Now, instead of earlier we just avoided, he actually pressed start while falling into the void. That actually triggers another set of a room and spawn ID, and then we load a save file, and this save file is the one that we did in Orden. And luckily, this Orden save file has the same set of room and a spawn ID combination that we have on the title screen. And this title screen ID points us to the King Boblin 1 fight, which is something happening again way later in the game when we get to Kakariko Village. And this fight has some specialty to it. While the early cutscene of this fight plays, in game memory and code, a flag is counting down from an incredibly high number. This is the boss flag that actually determines if you already saw the intro cutscene of a boss fight or not, and if it's higher than 0, the cutscene won't play and the boss will instantly spawn. During this intro cutscene to King Boblin 1, for whatever reason, this flag is set to an insanely high value and counts down. If you reset during this cutscene and then skip the cutscene while resetting, this countdown will stop. And if you do it properly, it will be at a value higher than 1 or higher than 4. And this has some interesting effect, which you can see right now. This flag is also used to count the amount of monkeys saved in Forest Temple, and for that reason, we now have all monkeys needed to cross the bridge and to get to Ook. So, Nintendo tried to be sneaky there and save some RAM by only using 1 flag for these things. And this helps us here, because we can manipulate the flag using this back-in-time encrypt method, as it's called, and thus skip all monkey saving for the first part of Forest Temple. Was that too complicated?
That was a bit much.
I'm sorry. It's a really complicated trick.
Okay.
So this is Ook. Ook is a pain, and he's RNG, but...
Shoutouts to Torpedo for having the most cycle.
Yep. Oh yeah, and Harm is right. If you actually void out in the room where you cross the bridge with the monkeys, the flag gets set back to 0 and you're screwed. No, it's not
I guess you
screwed.
just have to
Not screwed, but it's a big time loss. So on Simikin's side, you now see that he is actually clearing the Twilight. He is collecting all the tears, and he will finish the Twilight. And that's just a different route you can do that's barely slower, but like a little easier. It will do a different method of back-in-time equipped, and basically skip the part that Case Master is up to do soon. He just got the boomerang. And this boomerang, dang, is this a special device?
This is the item of the game.
So what does it do, Lou?
This is what allows you to do basically a lot of skips in this game with the technique of a long jump attack, also known as LGA. Basically, when you throw the boomerang, like Trez explained earlier, the LGA method with the enemy. Well, the boomerang works more or less like the same, I guess. And when Link targets it and tries to jump attack when the boomerang's like over Void, what else? When it's over you, right? And you jump attack at the right time, you're gonna like cross distances that you wouldn't be even think it's possible.
Yep.
This allows like mini dungeons, shenanigans skips.
This actually follows the same logic that I talked about earlier during Sword and Shield skip. Dang. That said that you can actually jump way further than intended if your target is over a void or higher above than you. And Case Master is just now positioning himself in a specific spot, aiming with the boomerang, and now jumping to it. Because right there where the boomerang just was, this is a void. And this allowed him to jump to the boomerang over a trigger. That trigger actually calls up Midnight and says, hey, isn't there unfinished business for us to do in Forest Temple? Well, yeah, no, fuck you, Midnight. We're just leaving. And this, just that, is part 1 of skipping the second half of Forest Temple, which is a big deal. So now we're in Hyrule Field, and we are moving up to the Elden area.
Quick postman skip right there. If you don't do a LGA there, there's a small cutscene that's gonna play with the postman giving you a letter. It takes some time, so you better get it.
Yep.
You do have to skip other ones later on, right, in this version?
Yes, you do.
Yeah, okay.
Pitskit just decided to forfeit, actually, sadly, because he's not feeling great. He had a bad start, and yeah, some stuff happened, so he's not finishing, sadly. He just forfeit.
That happens sometimes, sadly.
Yeah. So, we just got into Elden Twilight.
It's that time, yeah.
Yeah, and now we come to a trick that is really stupid. You see these Shadow Beasts on Case Master's side? These 3 Shadow Beasts guard this gorge. And after doing this, there's a cutscene with the portal coming up. And here's 1 frame. Literally just pressing A, which Case Master got. And you jump into the void, and this actually skips the cutscene with Midnight popping up and saying, hey, the bridge is gone, we are screwed, and we need to go back to Forest Temple and back to Farron and get the bridge. Well, no, we skipped it with a 1 frame A button press without any setup, and this saves 1 minute 5 seconds. Yep, it's that bad. He got it though, and now here comes my favorite trick of the game. We need to still cross the gorge because there's no bridge. So we use this rupee. We aim to the other side. It's really a precise target. Oh, that was close, Case Master. And again, long jump attack to the rupee on the fence. This gets us on the fence. We turn around on the fence, roll and turn around. We land behind the fence and roll around. Get to a precise position. And if we get to that position that Case Master just now got in, we can actually make it barely across the gorge if we use the long jump attack. And that's called a rupee roll. Congrats, we just made it across the gorge. And this showed you
that was clean.
The amazing potential of long jump attacks. Right there.
How big is the frame window already to do that gorge void skip?
1 frame.
1 frame.
It's literally exactly 1 frame. So Case Master just took a detour there. If you noticed, he actually went to the side and basically hugged the wall. This is because there is a trigger on the ground, and this trigger actually would spawn us inside of the King Boblin 1 fight and mess the game up massively because the flags are so weird. So we need to walk around it. So this is all we needed. We are now in Eldin. And this is crazy. This skipped a lot. This trick right there, the rupee roll, the amazing trick that I like so much, actually allowed us to skip the second half of Forest Temple in its entirety. So now, Case Master actually got the warp portal in Kakariko because we need it. And we're going back to the gorge, and this might look weird to you. I'm not sure, Lou, do you even remember why you do it?
Do the what?
Go back to the gorge?
No, no, I actually don't recall. I think this is where I'm a little bit lost in the route for the ESD version.
Yep. Just saying, Mofat sadly missed rupee roll, so he's trying for the backup rupee. There's a chance that you actually can dig out a blue rupee from the spawn. He got it, and now he needs to be quick on the timing and have some luck with the blue rupee to actually get the rupee roll. And he got it. Can he get it? Can he actually get it? He got it. That was amazing. This is way harder than it looks, and it's way harder than the initial setup. So, well done, Mofat, right there. So, whoa. He actually was in the wrong position to do this. But he should be okay now. Yes, he got it. That was nicely done. Nimzo sadly missed Gorge Void, so he'll actually have to warp back. So Chaos Master went back to the Gorge, and this is to actually get map warp. This cutscene where Midna talks to you and brings up the fact that the gorge is gone, that the bridge is gone, no matter from which side you trigger it, actually gives you the ability to warp using the map. And this is gonna be needed later in the run to prevent a soft lock. So now that Audi came back, he'll actually go... Case Master is Audi, by the way, for everybody that doesn't know. Now that Case Master's back, he'll actually go to the Lanaria province and prepare stuff there. Then go back to Kakariko, finish Kakariko, and then go back to Lanaria. Since Nimzo didn't get Gorge Void, he needs to actually do this 1 minute 5 longer route that I talked about, where you need to warp back once more to Farron, do the Farron escape once more that he just did, and then basically do the same thing. So, that gate is just a mere suggestion. Back in the day, we used Epona to let her butt actually push us through, and that was funny as shit. That was funny as shit, but also really RNG heavy. Now we just have a good setup where we've actually found out, okay, you just need to use the gate swinging animation to clip through with the side hop, because Wolfsling's side hop is bad. Pillar clip. Lou, your turn.
Okay. It's probably one of... I feel like it's one of the scariest part of the run because it's easy to die there. But basically you need to swim in the right position in the lake, then go down. But since you don't have the Zora armor, you're gonna have a limited time to get in the right position under the pillar. And when you go back up, the collision pushes you through the wall and just enough. And if you pull Midna right there, then Link, I think it saves time putting out Midna, like it saves airtime, right?
It saves airtime, and it also helps clipping.
Okay.
Because while you are stuck in this position, Link is still slightly floating up and down, allowing to clip without losing air. So this actually allows us to just barely make it into the loading zone without getting Zora armor, you know? You're not supposed to get into Lakebed without the Zora armor. But since we basically have this pillar clip trick, we can barely make it. Just there, you saw Case Master actually clipping inside Lakebed and then safe warping, and it put him inside of Lakebed. That's not something that happens if you do it in a casual playthrough. If you just save there, you will be put back there. Nimzo actually sadly called Midna early and will not get the pillar clip.
Yeah, at this point, all you can do is drown and try it again.
Yep.
Just so it's scary though.
So yeah, what I just mentioned. If you safe warp there, nothing usually happens. But since we have the Master Sword, which you are supposed to get after Lake Bed, the game thinks you did it and will put you in the entrance. So, coolest looking LJ in the entire game right here.
Oh yeah.
Double LJ, the first one you see. So 2 targets from Case Master. Jump 1, jump 2. And it looks really fantastic.
Yeah, if you're a little bit off, you're gonna fall off this bridge and you're gonna have to climb back up, and it's super slow in SD.
Yep.
Thankful in HD they speed that up, but it's still bad.
Alright. So now we're getting Uku. Uku is actually something you can use to warp out of dungeons. Basically like Pharaoh's Wind in Ocarina of Time. And then warp back later. But here we don't really need to grab her usually. We just grab her here because it allows for really, really nice routing. Another cool...
Double LG again here.
Yep. So just quickly, so you... Sorry, just quickly so you don't worry. Nimzo actually went straight to Lanario as well after failing the Gorge Warp, like the one frame trick. This is just a little faster than going back to Eldin. He will do it afterwards. In one go, basically. Mofed trying the clip. Looks good. A little early. He actually did call Midnight too early, so it will be hard. And Case Master just watched or looked up. He did the C up and looked up, and it spawned the boss. This is weird, and this is not supposed to happen either. This is another side effect of doing back in time equipped earlier. Do you remember, guys? Case Master did the thing where he actually did the jump attack and the back in time stuff in Forest Temple, spawned in the King Boblin fight, and I was talking about the weird flag situation, the early boss flag that we used to spawn the monkeys. This boss flag is still active until you save warp, until reset the game, or finish a boss. In this case, this was Deku Toad. And Deku Toad was still connected to this early boss flag, and basically in a state where, hey, you already fought me, but you died. So, I don't want to show you the cutscene again, just want to instantly spawn. And that's the reason he can just go in there, look up, and it will spawn the fight. And that's a major time save that actually allows us to not need to do any clipping and stuff, and that would massively change the route. Case Master also did a one cycle there where you actually can get in 10 slashes in one cycle, which is enough with the Master Sword because you need to do 20 damage to Deku Toad, and the Master Sword does too. And this means you need to do 10 slashes, and you are not allowed to lose more than 7 frames within these 10 slashes. So
Nimzo got the clip now.
Yay! Nice. So, after finishing Deku Toad and getting the claw shot, Case Master just used a save warp to get back to the beginning and then Uku'd out. So this brings him back to the Lake Hylia area as Wolf. And now we are actually doing something that you would do in the vanilla game as well. Basically, if you get here for the first time, you would instantly do this instead of the pillar clip shenanigans. And that's taking the Kakariko, right? And so I will swap out Nimzo again and show Brugels, because we have not seen him in a while. He is actually in second place right now, doing Deku Toad. But he didn't get Gorge Warp. So now Case Master is actually fighting, or not fighting, this Kakarot Rider. And he'll just go into the water using iron boots and then walk away. And the Kakarot is... a Bublin is sitting on top of the Kakarot and riding it. If the Bublin touches the water, he just evaporates and dies. And that's the trigger that causes the cutscene to play that allows Link to actually fly with the Kakarot. Bad thing, however, if you manage to lure the Kakarot and the rider into the water, and then get grabbed by the Kakarot while the rider dies, the game just crashes. And that's really bad, because the last save is like 20 2 or 3 minutes away, so we'll lose a lot of time.
Yeah. Catch got the clip there also. Pretty first
Yep.
try.
This clip is not
It's-
easy. You actually use the
It's not.
walls to clip out of bounds, and it saves 7 seconds over just going through the normal route, because you're just going around the outside and basically skip a turn. This is pretty hard. And so
Yeah,
far,
they can't-
Case Master's run is really solid.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's the kind of trick that is like high risk, low reward. to
I
be
just never
honest.
do it, because it's hard.
Yeah, I've tried it in a few runs, and every time I was like, nah, not gonna happen.
But yeah, this is just... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was about to say, then after that, I go for like the double claw shot skip in HD with motion controls.
Yeah. Alright, so after this Kargok clip and Kargok out of bounds, we actually do something more that you would do in the vanilla game as well. We actually climb up to the frozen Zora's domain and get the war point, which you need desperately, because that's where we will use the meteor that we get after Kakariko on to actually thaw the entire thing and make the waterfall run again. This is done in a weird order, of course, because usually this is something you do way after you did Kakariko, after you did Goron Mines, all that stuff. You have the Iron Boots. You actually, yeah, did a shit ton of things. But yeah, in this case we do it now, because it's just the most convenient and fastest way to do it in our route. To basically split up the Kakariko part like this. Because right after Kakariko, we will just be able to warp back here and basically start Legendary Twilight instantly. Is it a bad sign that my throat is already hurting after 46 minutes?
Yep. Should drink some water, maybe.
I'm drinking beer.
Same thing.
Alright, so now Case Master actually warps back to Kakariko. That's the war point we just got earlier before leaving this entire area. And this allows him to just now start Kakariko Twilight. And this is, or Elden Twilight. And this is like one of the most technical 6 minutes of the run. Just because there's so much raw skill in there that you need to show off. So many different techniques and movement that you need to show off. That it's basically one of the most skill-heavy parts of the run. Simikins actually decides to fight the Kargok, by the way. And Mofed has some bad luck.
Ooh, hopefully we won't die.
Yeah, he's taking it safe and apparently fighting the Kargok as well. So, right here, Case Master's actually going for another clip. He's killing that bug, and now he's just transforming into human. We have the Master Sword and Side-Hop him, because, hey, collisions. Who cares about collisions? As Wolf is a solid, as human it's definitely not. Not even in HD, although in HD it's harder to clip in.
It is.
Ooh, very, 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 very,
Bugs.
dang, really clean, yeah. These three can be trolly as shit.
Yeah, they can run all across the room, and most of the time you're gonna bunk on a wall and have to like mend that dash again.
Yep. So yeah, this part is really, really execution heavy. Really tight corners, movement, good show off and usage of tricks like this right there. Now in this room we'll do another manipulation of the bug inside. We will just bonk inside the left side wall and turn on senses instantly after, and then use the targeting to just manipulate it good enough to make it just drop down next to us. Shoutouts to SVA who found that. And it's really clean.
SVA is insane. He finds so many setups in so many games.
Yep. Another really execution-heavy section coming up, the hotel, which has 2 bugs inside. And these two are not hard, but you can just lose a lot of time in here if you're not doing it right. There's just so much, from like grabbing the stick to lighting it up to actually throwing the stick to make the stove actually light up as early as possible. Then this bug right here, we actually just manipulated that as well by just bonking inside the counter on the bottom. And if you just bonk it, the bug will go off the wall and be right there for you. So this is all manipulation. And this was a beautiful hotel so far from Case Master. 2 more, not that easy jumps, really clean.
Yeah, this whole run so far for him is pretty clean.
It is. Small thing about movement tech that I didn't talk about earlier, we can do some dash canceling. So right there he dashed and instantly afterwards used the B attack and another one to cancel Link's dash. And this allows us to just instantly dash again. If you dash normally, there's a cooldown. If you cancel it, you can instantly dash again. This not only works if you cancel it, but if also you instantly jump off a ledge after dashing. And in this case, Case Master does 2 B attacks and then a dash cancel across or off a ledge to have the fastest possible movement there and get 3 dashes in there. Just a small thing of movement tech. Only saves a minimal amount of time, but is kind of key if you want to go for that world record.
Yeah, he also side up over the rupee, which skips the cutscene of picking it up for the first time.
True.
That's a small thing that runner does. It doesn't really, like... You wouldn't think it's a thing, but it does save a few seconds here and there.
Yep. Oh, Case Master going for the setup for Wolf. Oh, and he misses it. This is unfortunate. So right here, we're going to the bomb house. And there's a trigger on that final step that he's just barely not touching. That will trigger the bug and you will not be able to reach it. But if you LJ across and now be fast, you can actually kill this bug that is coming from the side now. Kill it before it enters this crawl space. And this will basically trigger what is basically an implosion. If you don't make it to the hole and don't kill that bug before it enters the crawl space, you have to go inside. And this is actually a loading zone in this case. That will spawn you inside and you need to light up a stick and the box will just burn this bomb house to the ground. If you kill the bug, however, the game thinks that you already have been in there and will just make the game destroy the bomb house without anything happening to it. And you skip the bomb house section, which is around 30 seconds, and can just collect the box. It looks really funky, but it's really cool. Case Master tried to get the wolf setup, which is faster, but he missed it.
Yeah, so McKinn's right now is getting a final blow.
Yep.
Ending blow.
Yep. He actually did the other route, which is called the bite route, where you actually finish Fair and Twilight. After you finish Fair and Twilight, you can get the ending blow. This one is the only hidden skill needed to finish the game. Because you need it to finish Ganon, without it you can't. But the others...
the quest, having to get that.
Yep. The others will get it later. And meanwhile, Case Master is finishing the rest of Elden Twilight. Why are you death warping, Simikins? Is that a thing? Oh yeah, it is. Is it? I'm not sure.
I don't even know myself.
Right here, Case Master's actually trying to be super fast with this portal to make an earlier Steam cycle than intended. Ah yeah, but they are right. Like the death warp is faster for bite than actually safe warping here. And now Simikins will do the bite stuff that we saw earlier, and he will use once again the back-in-time setup that we used in the beginning of the game to do bite. And this safe warp that he just used has the same flag and spawn combination, ID combination that we talked about earlier, allowing him to do bite here. And the difference in this case is, while Case Master finishes off Elden Twilight, that he will not skip the King Boblin fight, but he will actually do the King Boblin fight. And this has some special implications, by the way. This fight is stupid, and you should never do it. If you're good, and if you have some luck with the RNG, which Simikins definitely didn't get, you can be fast with it. Can he salvage it?
That doesn't look good.
No, it really doesn't look good. And now he's getting knocked off. This fight is... Oh, and he even gets knocked off Epona. Oh. That's terrible.
This can get really messy real quick. Yeah.
Yep. Now he should be good, though. Ooh. Meanwhile, by the way, Case Master's actually warping the meteor. Now he got it. Simikins. And he's warping the meteor to Lanari Twilight to actually thaw the waterfall. Back to Simikins. Part 2 of the fight has a specific strat. You get over this cut in the bridge, turn around, and if you do it correctly, which he did, you can just one cycle King Boblin 2.
It's pretty neat.
Alright. So this will now bring him to Kakariko, because that's what this fight usually does. Case Master just skip the trigger that he will skip once more soonish. I will talk about it later. So Simikins quickly has to enter and leave the sanctuary to reset the state of Kakariko. Right door on both sides, because it's 3 frames faster, by the way. Audi, stop talking, you need to run. You're on a good run. And now he's basically there where everybody else was. Note, however, he did do back in time equipped. So right now, his progress basically was copied over to to like a title screen file by loading the save file that he did right as he ran onto Autumn Bridge. That's a really fun technique. It skips the Gorge stuff that you saw with Rupee Roller and Gorge Void. It's slightly slower if you get Gorge Void, but it's a really fun and especially interesting concept.
Rainbow Ride is pretty bad, I agree.
So now Case Master's doing Lanari Twilight, which is the longest Twilight and also has the most downtime of all the Twilights. But it's also quite technical in parts.
I thought you bonked down the wall for a moment. While doing the Shadow Beast, I thought you bonked instead of killing the last beast.
Yeah, that was actually close. One small thing I didn't talk about, another dash cancel on Case Master's side, by the way. Not a dash cancel, but he actually did a B-hop just out of nowhere. Watch Mofat right now. Oh no, he's not doing it. You just saw Mofat climbing these stairs, like these boxes. And the climbing animation of wolfing is kind of weird. If you do it while clipping into something like a wall, the climbing animation will just get skipped and you basically do a quick climb. He didn't do it, Case Master did it earlier, I missed it. Part of what makes Lanari Twilight unique, by the way, is the fact that you actually warp in the middle of the Twilight. But right there, again, Case Master jumped down, used his iron boots, and actually swam out under the bridge. And this allows him to skip the Rotella cutscene. Ooh, and he's going for the save play. Interesting. The Rotella cutscene is really long, and so we skip it by just going under the bridge. Case Master actually decided to just go for the safer strat right here. You can just go to the end of the waterfall and then side hop in a 3-frame window, and if you make it, you actually land on a small tiny ledge, and it's fast and swag but really hard and trolly, so you didn't do it. These lily pad blocks suck. That's all I'm gonna say.
They do. Wasn't too bad though.
That was fine. They are heavily RNG dependent, and if you have bad luck, they just will take half a minute. You can get super lucky and get them both in one strike, but that like never happens. So now that we had them on for a while, let's actually swap out Mofet for a bit and go to Nimzo. I will keep on Case Master just because he's in front, and that makes it easier for us to like show you all of the game in a consistent manner. But the others I will constantly swap out just so we see everybody. And something else you are seeing right now is that Case Master is actually trying to get as many rupees as possible during downtime. In TPSD, when you kill a bug to select to grab a tier, the tier has some sort of animation where you have to wait. That was fixed in HD, luckily. But this allows us to just grab rupees on the side while it's happening. Right here, Case Master is panning the camera up. And this is not because he hates the environment, but because it massively reduces lag. If you do it, the game lags significantly less, and it's used a few times more in a run. Just because the GameCube actually got to its limits at some points during the game.
Yeah, it's crazy. It doesn't. You don't really realize it, but once you do it, you save like enough time to be like, okay,
Seconds, yeah.
this game's bad.
This is the reason also why Twilight Princess will probably not be allowed to be ran on emulator for quite a while. Because Dolphin just cannot emulate this lag. It just can't.
Oh, felt the rupee cutscene skip there.
Yep.
Not too bad though.
And since we are actually talking about seconds of lag reduction, emulator timing would be really iffy. This is one of the few reasons why emulator is not allowed for Twilight Princess speedrunning. Oh, by the way, one thing we didn't talk about yet is the language.
Yeah, true.
Case Master is the only one of the four right now playing in German. And you'd be surprised why. Yes, he is German, but also German is the fastest language to play Twilight Princess in. The German text in Twilight Princess saves 168 frames, which is the equivalent of 5.6 seconds over English. This is mostly due to the reason that rupee text is surprisingly short in German, and that the translators that actually did the localization of Twilight Princess for Germany made a mistake and made the bomb back text, which we get twice in a run, short text that you can skip. And this actually allows us to save 5.6 seconds over English. Japanese is half a second faster than German. But the Japanese version of Twilight Princess is a newer version, a patched version actually, and this one does not have map glitch, which we will use later in the run, making it over 15 minutes slower.
Yeah, it's crazy. Usually most games are like faster in English or in Japanese, and in these cases.
Yep.
A lot of 3D Zelda games, I feel like, are not that much faster anymore in English or Japanese.
Yep.
Especially with the remakes.
Ooh, Nimzo actually got the side hop after the Lanario opening cutscene, basically. So there's is it one frame? I believe it's one frame where you can side hop.
So.
Where you can side hop, and if you get that side hop, you actually skip a long Wigno text in 3 seconds. So he got that. It's hard though.
Yeah, there's a lot of one frame can't jump in this game that would save like time overall. But since there's like no buffer, it's really precise, and you have to like get it the very first, like the very frame. In some games where you can buffer it like HD, some of those jumps are just easier. It's funny how Link doesn't take any damage whenever he's in the cutscene state. Oh, the last old Lenaru. It's like a mini boss fight where you have to actually fight a big bug, and use your sensors to actually see it. There's a strat to make it faster. We'll see if Care's gonna get it.
So yeah,
Okay, when the
Go ahead.
I was about to say, when the bug's gonna dash back to Cash, instead of like waiting till it like flies back a second time to him, there's like a window where you can just jump attack right away, like that.
Yeah, he jumped the frame too early or something.
Yeah.
And if you jump too early and the big bug is too close to the ground, he will just knock you off like that.
Yeah, it's very precise, but it does save time.
Yep. And he'll try again. Good setup again. And now he got it.
Oh, yeah.
And now just one more thing. Oh!
Oh, he missed it.
Yeah, he was trying to be too fast there. So basically, if you area charge or midnight charge and get all the legs of the big bug in the area, you can just cancel the animation of like going through all the legs by bonking into the first one. And Case Master missed that.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all the Twilights we do. So I know Nimzo. Watch Nimzo. He actually did the side hop and he got it. He did this insanely crazy looking side hop. Which is
the frame window is also tied there.
3, yeah.
Yeah, 3.
Alright. So Case Master just finished his Lenario Twilight, and now it's time for us to get bombs. Case Sorry.
Yeah.
Case we don't know why. Maybe they don't have the German version. It's not that much slower, so it's...
Yeah, I looked up for the German version once on like eBay, and the price is kinda... It's not cheap. Let's just say that.
Yep. So... now we're being a cheap bastard, basically. So we need bombs. There's no way around it. We don't want to get the Zora armor, so we want bombs. And we also need the ending blow. So Case Master's is howling here. Sorry, he's howling here. And these howling stones actually spawn golden wolves. Ooh, Dimikin's actually missing Rotella skip right there. Or not going for it. It looked kind of weird. But yeah, Case Master just spawned this golden wolf, and this golden wolf is really useful because it will spawn right next to Castle Town, which is where we will be later anyways. So this is really convenient. We could take any other, but this one is the easiest to reach. And this is what we need to get the ending blow in the normal Gorge route, which Simikins already got his ending blow. Case Master will get it soon. And now we meet Aiza. Aiza is especially known for her super funny Bob Ross haircut. And Aiza is scared of shadow beasts. So, yeah, since Aiza doesn't want to talk to us, we actually spawn shadow beasts to scare her and make her scream. And then we kill the shadow beast, and she's so grateful. She's our best friend then. And that's what we're gonna use to actually steal stuff from her. Because Aiza has a bomb shop. And this bomb shop has bombs. And we don't have bombs yet, and we want bombs. So we're just gonna steal them from her. So now she's happy. And she'll give us a bomb back. Actually thinking we have a bow to actually blow up these rocks in the background. And we'll just drop a few bombs in her place and then use Uku to get out. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's the Oku from Lake Bed that we picked up earlier. And this is convenient because now we can waste all our bombs in the water without having to wait them to blow. So right after we can pick up water bombs. Oh, and then walk right back. Okay. I'm slowly remembering the route. I would need to look at it a little bit more though.
But yeah, now we got our first set of water bombs, but this bomb bag that we just stole from Isa is just a land bomb bag. This is how it's called in the item menu as well. And this land bomb bag has some issues because it will stay as long as we do not reset the game, save warp, or finish a boss fight, like an actual boss fight and touch a blue warp. So we need to actually replace these bombs with like a proper bomb bag. And this is why we just got the water bombs. We'll sink down here, use the water bomb to blow up this rock, and for whatever reason, there's a Garn in there. And for another whatever reason, which is as stupid as the other, here's a bomb bag, and he will just give it to us. And just there, Audi walked back to the surface. He actually used the water bomb underwater, which you are usually not supposed to do without having the iron boots on. You basically are not supposed to swim with bombs. But what he did, he had the iron boots on, pulled out a bomb, and then force unequip the iron boots by equipping another item over it. This causes Link to float, and if you actually let go of the bomb at a specific point of his animation where he actually holds up the bomb over his head, the game actually thinks, hey, wait, you had a bomb in your hand, you dropped your bomb in your hand, and you don't have iron boots on, so this means you must be on land or outside of water. So I will just bring you up and rocket you up, and this is called Rocket Link. Right there. Case Master actually called Midna and asked for a warp and opened the map on the same frame. He, again, actually used his controller and just unplugged it to do this at the same frame. And what this does, it actually does the warp, and between the actual warp happening and the animation of the map closing, there's one frame that Nintendo didn't remove in this earlier version of Twilight Princess. And in this frame, Midna will cancel the warp. On this frame, however... no, Nintendo didn't remove it, but on this frame, however, in this old version, Link's body will get set to a state where it cannot interact with loading zones anymore. And this allows us to actually skip through the death plane right here that would cause you to void out if you didn't get the weak fish scent using the upgraded fishing rod and all that stuff. That's an insanely long quest. You need to do the Vegan escort, you need to get the Zora armor, all this stuff.
Yeah, don't forget that you will need also to get the fishing rod at the beginning.
Yep, and this allowed us to skip the fishing rod and do the back in time stuff in the beginning. So he needs to actually howl there to reset Link's state, because else he would just softlock here. And now he can actually proceed. What Brugels just did, sorry, because we didn't talk about it, Brugels actually just skipped the King Boblin 2 fight. This is the one of the most recent... Oh, and he did the...
Wow.
Wow. So, Brugels, what he did. He got into this corner and voided out by clipping outside. And this allows us to skip the King Boblin 2 fight. Because if you actually die or void out in this area, the game thinks that you voided out behind the King Boblin 2 fight. Because that's the only place where you're supposed to be able to void out. And if you do it, you skip the fight. Right there, because we didn't have the bridge, oh, and Case Master missed this insanely easy LJ. So, what Brugels then did, since there's no bridge there, he need to actually... Wow, and now he's getting too old as well. Oh, this is so bad luck, and now he's getting a game over. This is terrible.
Oh, man. That was such a good run up until now.
Yep, and that's an easy, maybe a minute, maybe like 40 seconds of time loss. So, again, back to Brugels. Since he didn't have the bridge there, he needed to do something else. You can use a bomb and do another rupee roll, but that's slow. So what you can do is doing Epona Slide. Epona Slide is a specific order of button presses where if you do it right, you will actually slide off Epona and get off Epona as you're going over a void. And this will allow you to actually make it past this gorge. And if you do it right, Epona will actually get pushed so far that she makes it over with you. And he just did that like a pro. That's a really, really, really crazy strat, and it saves a lot of time over the other. And he did it. That's a big wow. So this is the other round. He actually got the Zora armor. This is a more safer round from now on. Up until here is pretty hard. There's so much to talk about. Chaos Master just did this LJA. This LJA actually puts you so far out of bounds that the game thinks you died during snowboarding, and it makes you skip the Shadow Beast fight that you are supposed to do. This has a side effect, however. While it's faster to do it, this will not clear the fog. So the snowboarding section that Case Master is doing right now is still in fog. We call this blind snowboarding. It saves a bit of time, around 20 seconds. Around 30 seconds, actually, but all the other stuff, this means it's like 16, I believe, overall time save. So now he needs to do it blindly. And this is not as easy, because there's this shortcut that we take, which is not easy even without the fog, but now it's like harder. There's a few good visual cues. Case Master obviously has this down, so it's like whatever. And you see him right here, doing it like a champ.
He has the map. Not like it's totally blind.
Yep. On Brugel's side, you once again see the map glitch. He's just going right past this plane.
Oh, he's going for that. Nice. There, if you do like those jump slashes on the corners like he did, you skip a small cutscene that Minna tells you what's up with the place, basically. This has to be my favorite dungeon right there. The movement is super fun. Then LG there, just to get on the other side where you shouldn't have access to this place right now, but yeah, and then you can hookshot this target right there through the floor.
Yep.
It's usually a floor that you would need to bomb and then you get down. But yeah. Oh, and I haven't seen this version of LJ before.
Oh, wow. That's actually the old version. This is not entirely consistent.
Okay, I was about, it made it look easier.
Yeah, it's not consistent. That's why we don't do it anymore.
Okay.
Oftentimes, the LJ just doesn't go out of bounds for the second time. So as you can see, all floors and ceilings in Snow Peak are like kind of iffy. Case Master just actually drops through floors left, right, and center. It's kind of funny. And right here, he actually clips or will clip past this freezer by just using the invincibility frames after getting hit to clip inside. And that's basically all we need to do for Snow Peak. We now need to kill Darkhammer We'll use a bomb for that, because that's the fastest way. This boss is stupid, and we all hate it with a passion. Especially me. But if you do it right, it's fairly easy. Wait, Simikins, what did just happen?
You couldn't transform back into human, I think. So you couldn't open the door.
He transformed into wolf. Dang.
Yeah.
So this is the ball and chain. This ball and chain will be used exactly one time in the entire game. Or it needs to be used exactly one time. And that's the only reason we need to do the entire section. That's the entire reason we need to do the map glitch stuff, Snow Peak, the snowboarding, the fight right here. Just because we'll need this once. Oh, and he misses the rupee.
Yeah.
Light up. So we get the ball and chain, we get at 100 rupees. Why, you will know later. And
yeah, at least you get the rupee here.
Yeah, but there would be so many other ways.
True. Yeah, there would be a... It's just not exactly a total waste of time.
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Another rupee right here. Meanwhile, on Simikin's side, you can actually see the clip to skip King Boblin 2 again.
Yeah, Bruggles did that earlier too.
Yep. So this is not really that precise. It's actually fairly easy.
When was that found? Like 2 years ago, I think?
No, that was actually found last year.
Oh, so TP did get something last year.
Yeah.
Why everyone was memeing about it then? Damn.
Yeah, because it's not really used in the fastest any percent route.
Ah.
So, Case Master is going... It's big for no saving crits, for example. I'm pretty sure it was 2019, Lily, but I could be mistaken. And now Case Master actually went back to Lake Bed. He barely got that. He's actually cleaning the rest of the bombs out so he can grab these water bombs right here. Hey, ZSR2! Welcome, folks. Welcome to the Twilight Princess any percent tournament. We call it Wolf Dash 2, and this is the seeding race number 1. So we are 120 in. Case Master on the top left is in front. And the others, Nimzo, Bruggles, and Simikins, are a bit behind and do partially different routes. So Case Master is about to do the only boss key skip in Twilight Princess. He actually jumps on the side of the stairs. He positions himself here in a specific way, clips inside, drops down, positions himself even more specific, and now back hops, and then clips in. And this is the only boss key skip in the entirety of Twilight Princess. The reason for that is that all boss key doors, or boss key loading zones, are tied to opening the door. Except for Lake Bed, where you just drop in. And this is the reason why this is the only boss key we can skip.
It's almost like they knew the dungeon was annoying, so they made it easier for speedrunners.
So now we have Morphle, and as you all can see, Case Master barely managed to go down before getting out of air. And we are not having the Zora armor, so no breathing underwater, but we have bombs. And water... Well, he barely made that. Water bombs in Twilight Princess, as said, have a few special attributes. So usually you're not supposed to swim with bombs. You can just see it right there. That's not supposed to happen. Usually you're supposed to only use bombs if you have the iron boots on. If you force unequip the iron boots by using another item over it, we can swim. And since the game doesn't think it's possible to swim with iron boots, without iron boots, if you drop a water bomb while swimming, the game thinks, hey, you must be on land, so here is all your air back. And we'll use this to do this fight. Anyways, so Case Master's actually positioning himself with the iron boots in a specific way, close to Morphle. He'll hookshot on top of his back while wearing the iron boots. This actually allows us to get off Morphle's back faster, because we just unequip the iron boots. This will instantly knock us off, and we'll instantly equip them again. You can do this with one bomb. It's super precise, super risky, and it requires perfect RNG, so he's not going for this in a race setting. He's pulling out another bomb, dropping it again, another full air meter, and now he's getting on top of Morphle's back again. Not the best RNG here, but he should be good. No, barely not.
Oh,
Morphle actually screwed him over there. That was actually pretty mean. He's still going for... Ooh, this is risky now. He will go for the regrab. So you need to actually force unequip. Ooh, this is close. This
Oh
is
my
cutting it
god.
really close.
This is.
No, he died.
Oh! That was
I,
so
s-
close.
I actually saw it coming. Ah. Morpheal RNG can be really tough. It's a gigantic time loss. It's like a 5-minute time loss, if I remember correctly. It's
Something like
a
that, yeah.
lot. You lose bombs, which is terrible because you'll need them later. And he barely. There was like a few frames that he missed to make this. So in a really clean fight, what happens? He will just claw shot on Morpheal's back for a second time, force unequip the iron boots, and then basically instantly get back on Morpheal's back and do the final blow.
Yeah.
In this case, this didn't happen, so Case Master has to do the entire fight again. He wasted 2 bombs that he will desperately miss later. He can work around it, but it's still bad. And it's a big time loss. While we're waiting, we actually will swap out Nimzo again, just because he's doing the same route as Case Master, and show up Mofat again, and see where he is. And
Oh,
he's
yeah.
still in Snow Peak as well, so Case Master is still ahead by a bit.
Yeah, Civic and Bruggles won't have too much trouble with the air for Morpheal, because Zora's armor. Well, they got this armor, so they don't have to manage the air.
Yep. So if you have the Zora armor, the fight is completely different. You're basically just swimming close to Morpheal, hookshotting on his back, and then trying to re-grab twice again. It's not hard at all.
Yeah, you're just doing it casually but fast.
It's obviously still hard to do it super fast, but it's not hard in comparison. So, another attempt for Case Master. RNG is still not playing along for 1 bump, but he'll probably get a clean 2 bump this time at least. With 4 hits each, again, unequip the iron boots, re-equip them instantly. Oh, he tried for the 1 bump actually. He did try for it. Didn't get
I
it
mean,
though.
if you could save one, I guess.
I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have worked even if he got the claw shot. I'm not sure I saw Adam in chat, but I'm pretty sure Adam would agree that he wouldn't have gotten it. This is again somewhat weird. Oh, I did barely make it.
Yeah.
So, of course, this is easy for us to say. Case Master could have gotten that earlier if he actually swam forward a bit, but this is a really tough call to make under stress. And this time, he gets the 2 bomb easily, and that's it for Morpheal. Meanwhile, Bruggles obviously now catching up big time. Is now inside the fight with Zora armor, and you will just now see how much of a difference the Zora armor makes. And how much faster it is as well. It's not even that much faster, but it's just a lot easier. There's no shenanigans you need to do with bombs. You just use the Zora armor and can breathe underwater. Well, makes it easy, right?
Yeah, Zora's armor is gonna come and also during the Zen fight later on.
Alright. So Mofat going for the boss key skip as well. And now we see Bruggles doing the Zora armor fight. So he's just swimming towards Morpheal as fast as he can. He will equip iron boots to be able to force himself off like Case Master did it. Do 4 hits.
Oh, Moffat just clipped right through the room.
Oh, cool.
I don't think I was expecting that at all.
Yeah. Wait. Did I see this correctly? Let me clip that. So he got the first regrab. And he got the second. So perfect fight for Bruggles, actually.
Wait, so I can actually clear the fog there. Didn't realize. Moment.
No, that was actually normal on Mofet's side. Just fast. So, Case Master is now in Midna's Desperate Hour, if we, as we call the segment. Actually, it's more like Midna's Desperate 7 minutes. What happens is, story-wise, after cleaning the Lakebed Temple and getting the final, how is it called? The final
Shadow
fuse.
fuse.
Yeah, the final fuse shadow. Zant is actually coming up like the supposed to be big boss of the game, and trying
Must
to
be
convince.
really, yes.
Yeah, trying to convince Midna to join him, to join forces, and when Midna says no, Zant actually revives the light spirit of. Wow, Brugels didn't deactivate his alerts. Dang it. The light spirit of Lenario, and it almost insta-gips Midna. So Midna's basically dead right now. Although not really, because we have the Master Sword, so it's kind of weird. But we need to save her anyways, so we are actually going inside Hyrule Castle. And we will visit Zelda once more, because hey, Zelda, you're still useless, but hey, it's okay. Alright, Mofat, going for the fight against Morpheal. This looks fine. So this should be a fairly easy 2-cycle.
Oh, nice.
Yep. This was really
Nice.
clean for Mofat. So he actually made up like 5 minutes. Just there. And he's actually on good pace to PB, I want to say. She is. Sorry. My bad, actually. I'm sorry.
P being on on a race is actually insane.
Yeah,
Because
to be
usually you
fair,
would think,
it's not
usually
her
would-
main category, so...
okay, because usually you would think you would play a little bit safer during a race just to make sure like you manage to get the run going. But yeah,
So yeah, this Midna's Desperate Hour is mostly... there's like no glitches involved, basically. It's just execution and being fast on the movement. You just see Brugels, by the way, there. He's not walking and dashing as Wolf, but he's actually constantly dash canceling. And that's due to the fact that dashing and running doesn't always have the same speed in Twilight Princess. It really depends on the area. And in this case, in Hyrule Castle Town, Wolfing is so slow that constant dash canceling is faster than just running. Which is weird, but it's true. It saves time.
it adds to the run, I guess.
Yep. So right here, this section is incredibly more easy since we just can transform to human. Just transform human here. And you will see one quick climb here on Case Master's side. He just climbed on a specific position of this ledge, and it made him clip in, and it basically allowed him to quick climb and skip the animation. And now we're back where we actually started out as Wolf for the first time. We're back in the staircase. And get up here, but now there's Boblins here, so we actually need to kill this Boblin, because else, no matter what we do, he will snipe us. But since we don't want to fight, we'll just knock him in the water, and all enemies in Twilight Princess hate water, so he just dies. Siberian, the world record is a 2:54. And average is...
Yeah, it's like 3 hours 10x, I would
Yeah.
say.
Yep.
3 hours 20 also.
Something around 3 hours and 3 hours 10. The world record is 2:54.11, set by Demon a long time ago, actually.
Yeah, he held actually both the Twilight Princess records for a while.
And like the Wind Waker and the Wind Waker HD.
Yeah.
I believe he was actually holding all 4 of these at one point.
Was he? Maybe.
Ooh!
He's actually that good, I would say. Yeah.
So Case Master
just
actually tried to be super fast here to actually make an earlier win cycle than intended. But with these 2 mistakes he just made, this is impossible. Oh, he never had the Wind Waker HD, okay. Jim with the facts.
Sorry about that.
No worries. So this is actually still anyone's race. Case Master obviously is the favorite, but there's still a good chance that the others will catch up. We'll actually swap out, whose route is now massively different? We'll swap out Brugel's for, no, we should swap out Simikin's for now, because his route shouldn't be that much different for a while. So we'll bring back in Nimzo for now. And you'll see Nimzo, and he's not even far behind either, so this is not yet done. Right here, I talked about it earlier. This is super convenient for Case Master to get the ending blow, which he only needs for one thing, and that's killing Ganon.
It's nice that any wolf can actually give you ending blow.
Yep. This is part
Otherwise,
of...
you'd have.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I was about to go. Otherwise, you'd have to go back to Forest Temple and get it there, which would be inconvenient.
But yeah, this is just this one fight to get the ending blow. And what you will see after Case Master lands the skill right now is the one single true wrong warp in Twilight Princess. So the game will always give you this cutscene or this scene with like the ending blow, no matter which Golden Wolf you take. But since you're not supposed to be able to skip the first Golden Wolf right in front of Forest Temple, it will wrong warp you right to the entrance of Forest Temple. Which is not useful because we don't need to be here at all, but it's fine. So we'll just take that wrong warp and go back to Lake Hylia, which is where we actually need to go.
So you would have to warp anyway, so.
Yep. Brugel's
Not
just
too
got the early win cycle and actually made it. You can
You
only
missed
waste...
it the first time.
Oh, he did. I didn't see that. My bad, then.
It's fine, I'm here for that.
Good.
But yeah, still getting the cycle, even though it's not the your first attempt, I guess, is good.
So next up, Case Master's actually going to the Gerudo region, which is just a gigantic desert in Twilight Princess. You're not meeting any Gerudos. All Gerudos are dead. Apparently.
I mean, Ganon.
I mean, okay.
If we're going technical, but okay. But
Yeah.
yeah, Gyarados Desert is another example where looking down with the camera will save time a
Yep.
little bit.
3 seconds, actually, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's 3. Yeah.
But yeah, we're getting this note from Oru. He's just saying, hey, you should go over there and check out how badly things are in the desert. And since obviously there's no roads or anything, we'll just take a cannon, I guess, to get there.
And that's one thing in Twilight Princess that is a little bit weird, I guess.
I mean...
You missed.
Ooh. This doesn't look like much, but if you miss this jump and actually drop down like this almost loses 10 seconds. This is a big deal, actually. And now he... Okay, you can tell that Case Master is actually still pretty tilted from this Morphil death, because he is doing some uncharacteristic mistakes, and I can get him. It was really frustrating to lose it like that, because the run was still really okay, and could have probably been good for him. Right there, he
also
just
looks so close.
Yeah, right there he couldn't transform, just because he actually got seen by I forgot his name. By the guy with the cannon.
I didn't know you had a name.
He does. Fire is his name. He got seen by fire, and you need to barely be in front of this final post for him to not see you. You can't go too far, because then the parrot will come up and offer like this weird minigame to you. But Plum is his name, or its name.
He can forget any name, but he's never gonna forget the number of frames that Bombag saves in Germans.
Yep. 168. But yeah, here, Case Master is actually constantly panning up his camera to just reduce the lag. And luckily, since we actually completely messed up the dungeon order, we already have these the ball and chain, because this allows us to just break one of these towers and get inside of the Boblin Can so much faster and easier. Combining this and this clip right here. So note, you're not clipping the fence. That's a mistake that newbies actually make quite often. You're actually clipping the wall. So keep that in mind. Right here, we'll have another example of map glitch. So again, Case Master is unplugging his controller, doing a map glitch by using map warp and Midna talking at the same time, or warping and map opening at the same time. And Midna will cancel the warp and disable Link's interaction with loading zones. He can now not go and leave this area. If he would turn around and leave, he would actually jump into a void and not die. But he does a different strategy. He just does some precise setup to get in position. You need to be fast here, because else you will get knocked off. He'll do some LJ to get barely on top of this mountain, and now he will jump into the void. And there's something specific here. There's a loading zone to trigger the King Boblin fight. This trigger actually extends infinitely up and down. So you can jump down and still trigger it. And this is what Case Master just did to spawn inside the King Boblin 3 fight. And he'll one-cycle him with many quick spins, and that's it. Demon! So this is Mr. Demon himself. I talked about the world record holder earlier. That's him. He is now a professional breaking the targets in Melee Runner. That only breaks targets.
Oh yeah, I saw that. That was clean.
So, don't worry, you can stay in here forever. This tent will not burn down, even if you try. This is just all fake.
Meanwhile, you can actually die on the bridge. Wow.
Yep, that's true.
It's weird.
So, coming up is Arbiter's Grounds. And Arbiter's Grounds is one of the dungeons that casually people loved. I hate it. Speedrunning wise, I just hate it. There's many tricks in there, but there's also a lot of downtime, many cutscenes and stuff.
The new post skip though, the one from like 2 years ago now, I think, made it a little bit more like better.
Yeah, that's true. So precise movement here to actually get across the sand and fast. Well done by Case Master there. And coming up soon is one of the, well, more legendary tricks of Twilight Princess speedrunning. It's called Po1 Skip. So basically, the mechanics of this dungeon need to be clear to you. You enter the dungeon, you go into the main hall, and 4 poles will spawn. And they will actually remove the flames, or their spirits from the towers, or like the lampposts, and that will close the gate. And this is stupid, because we need to get through this gate, and this is what's happening right here. You see right now, the gate is open, Case Master rolls forward, and cutscene plays, and this will close the gate.
But if you have 12 hours, you can skip that gate, right?
There is a way to skip this gate, in this cutscene by using a rupee pickup cutscene slide.
Mm-hmm.
This takes 10 hours. It's great for low percent, but it takes 10 hours. So yeah, now this gate will close. We tried everything we could to skip this. There's no way. You cannot clip through this gate without the rupee cutscene pickup slide. Rupee pickup cutscene slide. So we need to grab the post. But hey, at least we skipped the first one, because the game only checks for the second, third, and fourth. So we'll do a specific trick here. And this one was doomed for a long time. And he is bad luck, yeah. This was doomed for a long time because there was no good setup and the trick is just bad. Case Master actually just got trolled there by the little worms. How are they called?
Oh, good question.
I should know. My bad.
Oh, missed it there, surprisingly.
Oh, now he's going for the old strat. Oh. And he's getting trolled again by the Moldoms. Yeah, Moldoms they are called.
Oh,
exactly.
Moldoms?
Mini Moldoms. So yeah, this trick was doomed for a long time because this strat right here is really not easy. There's an even harder strat and an even harder strat and an even slower strat. There's a ton of strats, all of them only having the same result, which is that you actually get a precise jump. Ooh, and this small troll arm again. Oh, and he actually avoids. So basically, this is another result of Case Master dying to Morphil. He has 2 bombs less now that he cannot use for stuff. And he would have used these 2 bombs to actually kill the Moldoms. He can't do that in this case. He could kill them using the claw shot. But that's slow and he doesn't want to do it. I can get it. Because he's mad. He could distract them using the bombs, however. And it often works, but yeah. In this case, now he's deciding to kill them.
Yeah, if he gets troll, I'll just a little bit more. He's gonna die, so.
Yep. And he's not getting it again. He's doing a different setup than I'm used to, and he's too far away now. Oh, no.
No.
And this is game over again, and this is terrible for him, and he'll be mad. This is just Twilight Princess racing to you. The game has some insanely optimized strats. But
Yeah,
under pressure in a race, under pressure during a race, it's just insanely hard. And yeah, now Broggles actually is right next to him. So we're tied for these 2. And he has Zora armor, so he will save some time. Oh, and he didn't get it either. He will save some time later. So technically, Broggles is ahead right now.
No one's getting that trick today. Jeez.
And the new setup actually makes it fairly easy in comparison to earlier.
True.
But it's still trolly and hard under pressure. And now finally Case got it. You saw it. He got a roll off the pillar and barely grabbed the ledge. And this saves the first pull. In this case, where they missed it so often, it didn't save time because pull one skip only saves like a minute.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize, but everyone's pretty much at almost like on the same spot.
Yep.
No.
And now Broggles got it as well. And you just get this LJ right there. It's pretty free. You just basically throw the boomerang inside of the floor. And you can jump. So we're now getting our first Poe here, which is actually supposed to be the final Poe that you get. It's Poe 4. And this pro has like a special gimmick to it where it like splits into 4, and we can manipulate the RNG of this. So the first phase is pretty much consistent except for the amount of spins that he takes. But this is now different because for the final phase, this is RNG involved or determining how long it takes for them to start spinning fast again. And depending on the... Or he barely got that. Depending on the po that lights up, you need to do a different strat. In this case, you just needed to jump attack, and Case Master got the fast cycle. So this is the first po. And now here comes the advantage of doing po 1 skip. So he just was able to push this box from the back. Push it 4 times to keep it in place. If you do it any less, it will not stay in place. And this basically opens up Arbitr's Grounds, like the first part of Arbitr's Grounds, from behind.
It's so convenient, you can just skip that cutscene there and just fall straight on the stairs. It's one of the few Zelda game you can actually skip most cutscenes. Which is really nice considering the length of the game.
So by the way, what you just saw with Case Master actually digging out the chain to pull out the stairs, that's the only reason why you need the send. Because if you don't have send, and you cannot dig out this chain. It's literally hard-coded. So this is Po 2, getting this second.
Yeah, Brugal is really not far behind right now. Any mistake and he could get the lead once again. Also, I don't think we've mentioned it briefly with the cannon going to the desert, but there's another cannon that we're gonna have to use later on. And the reason why they're collecting rupees is because this cannon will need repairs. And you need 300 total for that. And Arbiter's Ground is a good place to get a lot of 20s. Also, yeah, right there, I think Trez mentioned it, but you kind of do the dungeon backwards for this part.
Yeah, this makes this room gets so much easier thanks to that.
Yeah. The stall pulls are still a little bit annoying though. They can stall you in place so they keep poking you. Yeah, I think that should be hit now for them, the pose.
Yeah, that's it. We skip the first pole, which you will see now. Like, the final flame will actually go up to the lamppost, and the first one is empty. Game doesn't even care.
I mean, doesn't even care if you get all the pieces of the mirrors. Or the shadow fuses. I feel like they've been lazy on some checks. But that's convenient for us, so we don't complain. Also, yeah, right there, that's also a wall clip, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
This is actually a big skip, because this allows us to get the masters, the boss key without really doing much in this dungeon. It skips a shit ton of rooms. We don't need to go outside. It makes the dungeon a lot shorter again. And it's basically just an easy clip. You can't even do this without the clip, but just jumping, rolling through the sand, then using a wolf stab, and then transforming into wolf, which is the cleaner, glitchless variant of this trick, because usually the clip shouldn't be allowed, but it kind of was, or is still for a long time. So here again, oh, he's actually using bombs. Yeah, but that's fine. He saved the 2 bombs he needed to save, so he's fine. So you just put the bombs down in specific places that will make the Stalfos just blow up.
Is he gonna go for the that sword skip? You think?
No,
No?
I doubt it. Maybe? Because he doesn't care about the run? Could be.
Could be, yeah. That would be hype.
So there's 2 ways to beat this boss. There is a way to skip the boss, which is faster, but it's also RNG dependent. What the?
What? Okay.
Oh yeah, he
We
did the
take
B attacks.
those?
Yeah, he did the B attacks. It looks funky, but it's possible. Not sure if it's faster, however. And he is going for the skip. So there's 2 ways to kill this, to do this. If you manipulate Death Sword's position like this, you can use a midnight charge with some RNG to get the skip, and he barely missed it. That, I believe, was the right RNG, but I believe he was a tiny bit late. He's trying it again. The other way is a 1 cycle. So Death Sword has a specific mechanic to it, where if you don't deliver a full combo to it and spread out your attacks, he will never get out. Like, he has a system... Ah, he missed it again. Where you can lock him in place. And he will just show that now. You can lock him in place as long as you don't finish a full combo. And don't spread out your damage for too long. So... He's not doing full combos. And finishing off quite quickly. And this will give us the spinner. Sorry.
Yeah, I just said, despite that, he still has the lead because Bruggles missed the 1 cycle.
But they're like 15 seconds apart, maybe.
Yeah.
To be fair, you gotta admit, and you all see it, that Case Master is doing some funky stuff because he's, for good reason, a little mad about the bad RNG with Morphew. And don't get me wrong, that was bad RNG. But yeah, Brugels is still in this. Position, however, doesn't matter in these races. It's all about time.
So position matters.
Well...
In some ways.
Why are you doing this to me?
You let me in.
That's fair.
I gotta say something sometimes.
Alright, we're actually swapping out Mofat for now again and showing Simikins again. Just to see where he is. And he is... Oh god, I need to do the cropping again.
He's not too far behind.
No,
he's doing pose right now. having some problems with stairs. Oh yeah, that's one thing. It's very small, but right there where when Nimzo jumped, he also did a jump attack near the edge that skips grabbing the edge and having to climb back. It's a small optimization, but it's something
Yeah.
you want to do. Also entering this room, we didn't say it, but jump attacking right away also just breaks one of the strings. Also, we've hit the 2-hour mark now. Wow.
Yep. So coming up next is the Starlord fight. So yes, there is a way to skip this.
Wait, what?
There is a way to skip Starlord.
Do you mean the Tazway?
Yes, but
Okay.
it's pretty much deemed impossible for RTA. It's just this insanely crazy strat that was found not too long ago last year, and it's crazy. It's actually, or 2 years ago. It's actually crazy. It involves claw shot displacement and bombs, and yeah, it's crazy. This first phase is RNG dependent again, so you basically need to hit the spine 3 times, and in every cycle there more of this soldiers will spawn.
This bus is much easier in Link crossbow training, by the way.
And Case Master already had some bad luck. And in the third cycle, he always spawns this row of enemies right in front of the spine, so you need to go around the corner and then knock him from the back. So this is the first phase.
Damn, it's gonna come down to who gets the fast strat, I guess. If one misses it. So your second phase is a little bit, I would say more exciting compared to the first one. There's a way to make it super fast, and once I call the boss, there's like a no to queue that the runners are gonna listen to, and the right time they should, yeah, Kesh got it. If you get on the rails with a spinner at the right time, you're just like right next to the boss and can dash on it right away. And Braggle's got it too.
Yeah, this quick knockdown is actually one of my most favorite strats, just because it's so random and so funny that it works, but it just does work. And yeah, this one cycle is just chaining quick spins. It even does work on Wii, where you have a cooldown on the quick spins. But you need to actually do some manipulation to actually get it. So this is all of Arbiter's Grounds.
It's probably one of the most fun dungeons to do overall, I feel like. Just a bunch of different tricks all around the place. And the boss fight isn't too bad. I just noticed Kedge is still at only 3 heart. Didn't pick up any art containers at all.
What? Wait, sorry. What?
Cash didn't pick up any art containers so far.
Not at all. Dang. Yeah, he will probably pick up the one in City, though.
It might not be the artist, but it's speedrunning, and sometimes it better be safe than sorry, I would say. Especially in races.
By the way, small thing right here, Case Master actually has to zoom into the map to be able to warp. So basically, if you approach this shadow mirror, whenever you try to warp away, Midna says, "Are you crazy? You're right in front of the mirror. Just warp. Just go inside." No, Midna, we can't. Not yet. So Nintendo said we're preventing you from leaving, but Nintendo didn't remember that you can zoom in, and if you zoom in, that barrier, that dialogue saying you can't, it's just not there. So we can use this to warp, and this is the reason why we need to get map warp.
Nim's also got the quick fight. Whoa! That didn't took too long to clip into that statue.
Yep. And this clip right there, where Case Master just clipped inside the statue. This right there is the biggest sequence break in Twilight Princess. In Twilight Princess
Also
HD, for that fact.
Biggest run killer I've seen. Oh wait, Simikin's got the sword skip though.
Simonkin's got that sword skip. That's how it looks. Awesome. But yeah, that clip right there, just clipping through the statue, saves 1 hour and 10 minutes at least. It skips the entirety of Temple of Time. It skips the entirety of the Ancient Skybook quest. All this stuff. And as you just saw, Case Master actually got the red rupee right here, because he needs 300 rupees. That's all we need for the run. We don't need more at all. And we needed to fix this cannon. This cannon takes 300 rupees to be fixed, and Fire does it for us right here, and will bring us to City in the Sky.
Yep, one clip. This skip like hours probably. Well, not hours, but casually it's a pain to look all around Hyrule.
Truly none. It's actually not that much compared to a perfect one cycle.
Sitting in the sky now. It's probably it's a dungeon that's I feel like it's easy to lose a lot of time, especially if you're not careful of like a few things. Because you can, I mean, you're gonna see it like pretty soon, but there's a way to unload the fan in the main room of the dungeon. And that alone saves a lot of time because you don't have to do like one of the sides of the dungeon. But if you're not careful enough and you load the fan, then you're gonna have to... Well, it's probably minutes. Time losses. There's also like a cutscene skip you have to do. After that, there is also key for the route of this dungeon. So right here we're gonna see Cash doing it. Yeah, turning into Wolf makes it easier for sure to unload the fan. It looks like you should be getting it.
Can you take over for like 30 seconds?
Yeah.
Or like a minute.
I can finally talk. Perfect, but yeah, Spinner is used in this dungeon, so you, so we can make the bridge connects to the other sides. Oh, Simikins is going oh, he ran out of speed just as he was about to to hit the boss. Star Lord. It's fine. It all happens. RNG at Star Lord can be brutal sometimes. Okay, yeah, right now Cat and Bruggles are gonna pick up a key in this chest. And they're gonna come back from this room from the very same way that they pick it up. But if you cross the bridge, there's a cutscene where the actual final boss, I forgot the name. The boss of name I completely forgot, but yeah, it's gonna actually break this bridge, but there's a way to skip that. And if you skip it, there's like a bunch of side effects to the dungeon. And looks like Cash got it.
Yep.
I go Rock. Yeah, thank you. I always mix up boss's name because there's so many Zelda games that shares like similar names.
This Agrok cutscene skip actually makes the dungeon so iffy. Like this this cutscene skip changes the spawn point of Link back to the entrance, and that's just slow. If you do the cutscene skip, it will stay at the small key chest that we got earlier. So.
Yeah, like I said, if you miss it, you have to do like the other side of the dungeon, and it's bad. Same goes for the fan also. Oh, Nimzo there fell that angle with the LGA. It's not too big, you have a time loss, but still a little bit less elf to do stuff, I guess. Also there, if you throw the boomerang at the pillar, it's gonna come back a little bit faster, so you can do the LGA faster. Otherwise, it's gonna have to go like around the pillar, then you have to wait a little bit longer. Now, this is a room I'm not too familiar with, but it's just a bunch of LGAs basically. Try to not get hit. And there is a neat strat where you can kill both Lizal foes at the same time. And then if you're fast enough, you can oak shot before the cutscene starts. Excuse me, claw shot. It's a claw shot in this game.
Man chicken! We have man chickens all over the place right here. So, as you all already noticed, with these two amazing rooms, I love these rooms. The block room and the fan room are just two great rooms. It's obviously LJA City. So many LJAs all over the place. And here we have one of the strats in the game. So these Ukus, we call them man chicken actually, or some do. One of these can be used to do this right here. You actually jump off this weird platform at a weird angle.
Ooh.
And if we let go of the Uku at the right time, we can actually grab this ledge and skip, like, turning on some wind things there. But here we grab another one to go down quickly. Just use the iron boots and sink down. And now we go inside Arielf's domain. And he is guarding the double claw shot, which might have been one of the most disappointing dungeon items as a casual player in all of Zelda. Hey, here's another one. But yeah, we hate alphas because weird boss fight and stupid mechanic. So what do? We just try to skip it. And now we do a setup where we back roll with iron boots and then, or roll forward and then back roll with iron boots. And there's one pixel right there that you can claw shot. And Case just got it, and that's all of the fight.
Yep. It seems a good, like, what, 2 minutes? Something like that. I also had, when I was practicing sometimes, you can also, like, get stuck between the fence and the ceiling and void out.
Yep.
I've seen that happen.
Especially if you don't have a perfect position, it's more likely to happen if the angle is not that straight.
Yeah, but it spawns you back in the fight anyway, so...
Yep. There's a one cycle that you can do with the ball and chain that is exactly 30 seconds slower than getting a really good alpha skip, but it's hard, and as said, 30 seconds slower. So now that we got the double claw shot, we actually save up to get back here. As I talked about it earlier, you actually manipulate the spawn point to be at the small key chest, and that's just faster.
Also, you don't have to skip the cutscene this time around.
Yep. Lou talked about it earlier. Since Case actually approached the door right here to this room in the beginning in a specific way, he skipped a trigger, and this trigger stopped this fan up there from starting to spin. This allows us to go through and basically what this does is skip pretty much the entirety of the second half of the dungeon. The most fun rooms in Twilight Princess, sadly. And allows us to get the boss key pretty much instantly.
I mean, if you want to see those rooms, you can just look at 100%. The strats are actually fun for those.
Yep.
Also, this doesn't spin here because of the fan being unloaded. Oh, he fell.
I have never seen that before, I believe.
That's a little bit unfortunate, but... that was a weird angle, to be honest. Oh yeah, that's also another thing. Those fans right there outside, they don't spin. And so with precise hookshot, like at the very edge on the top of those like bars, yeah, if you claw shot there, exactly, you're gonna grab the top of those fans. And from here, like on the second one, you can LGA and just skip everything.
So this LGA looks terrible and super hard.
It's not that bad though.
It's free as shit.
Yeah.
You basically just need to target precisely, and the timing is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So this fan tower right here is one of the most challenging rooms in the entire game. You need to be fast, you need to be good on movement, your aiming needs to be really good as well. And if you do it correctly and properly and actually are good at timing these claw shots, you will be able to make an early cycle. I'm pretty sure Case will have no issue getting it, because he's just really good.
Yep.
No!
Oh.
Barely, maybe?
What?
Oh, no, he actually missed it. This room is not easy if you want to do the perfect strat.
Yeah. So one thing though, Braggles did struggle. I think he had to beat the mini boss for the claw shot. I didn't look really, but Kedge is still has taken quite a bit of a lead now.
No, it's like only the fan room though. Is he that far behind Burgles?
I mean, still sometimes it's gonna be.
Alright, so right here we do the rub shot, as we call it. Meanwhile, while Simikins is actually lagging, I'm
Yeah.
taking him out for now and putting in Mofet again. Because, yeah. Um, so yeah, he just did a rub shot, which is the fastest way to get up there. Um,
So
um,
Agarok has a
yeah, go ahead.
interesting fight. So you first have to like equip the iron boots and then bring it down. And gosh, yeah, now you have to go back straight to one of those pillars with the grill, and if you're fast enough, you can re-grab actually the tail and bring it back down. I know there's a way. I'm not sure if it's no, it's probably in this phase, but if you re-grab too fast, I believe you can also like soft lock and like fly around infinitely with the boss. But that didn't happen, so thank God. But now second phase, Agarok will bring the fight up in the air, and there's a way to manipulate the way the fight happens. But I'm gonna let like Ruggles and Cash doing it as I explained because it's probably gonna be easier for me to explain it that way. It's been a while I've run this game, but remember a few things. Oh yeah, so first is gonna Death Warp, true. It makes something faster. I forgot. It's probably the way the boss moves.
No, actually, what this does,
No.
if you void out, and like after this first cutscene, Agrok takes another flight around the arena. If you void out, he will be back in the center. And that's all it does. It
Okay, so that
basically,
manipulates the boss.
yeah, it respawns him at the center of the arena. So, what Case just did there was a flame skip. You'll do it once more now. So if you actually manipulate your position with Iron Bruce up there on these P heads, and claw shot up to the P heads at a specific time, especially right after the scream from Agarok that you just heard, Agarok will stop spitting fire because you get too low, and this allows you to just not need to basically wait him out and claw shot all the way around, but be able to claw shot onto Agarok's back after just 3 P-head cycles, basically. And the third is a little bit different, because Agarok is supposed to stop and turn around in the middle, but we can manipulate this even more. Fun fact about this fight, by the way, Agarok is the only boss that's not able to be damaged by the wooden sword. He just takes no damage from the wooden sword. So here, Odi basically barely sank under the flame, and now Agarok will see his mistake, stop, and be dead. And the second thing about Agarok is you can actually 2-cycle him in 100% if you use the Red Shoe Jelly or the Fairy Tears.
Yeah, TPHD has that too with any percent. You can pick up a jelly. If you're lucky enough.
And that's it for City in the Sky, and we're moving on to Palace of Twilight.
Oh yeah. Palace of Twilight is probably my least favorite dungeon. It's so easy to mess up the small optimizations. That makes you lose a lot of time. But yeah. Looks like Ninja is also in the Agarok fight second phase. It's catching up a little bit. But yeah, despite everything, Cash has the lead still. Ah, he picked up his first art container. Playing a bit safe. Oh yeah, I guess another fact that I'm seeing right now, because Breckles is wearing the Zoro armor, the fire will actually do like some double damage when you wear the Zoro armor. So if you get hit during that fight while wearing it, you're almost dead, if not dead, I believe, depending on how much health you have. Also, yeah, right there, if you equip the iron boots and then jump attack right away, that Cash did, you can actually land on the bridge and warp right away instead of falling in the water. It's like Mofa's about to be LGA 2 right there. Taking a time, but that bird. Yeah, if you take too long, you can get disturbed by those. Sadly. And she made it on the other side. Cool. So yeah, the palace right now. Palace has a few sections you have to complete to be able to go to the last section. I guess for the dungeon. And it requires you to go get orbs at the very end. Those like long corridors, I guess. And bring it back. So at first those rooms are not too bad, you just have to kill like those ads right there. And pick up the keys in the chests. But when you're gonna go on your way back, then this is where the game throws a lot of things at you. To make it as hard as possible to carry the orb around. Alright, in those black fogs though, you have to be Wolf Link. Otherwise the game's gonna force you to be Wolf Link anyway. You cannot walk in there as Link. Yeah. Looks like Nimzo actually caught up quite a bit there. But yeah, on the very last room of those sections, there's also a fake Zant, a Phantom Zant, I believe it's called.
Phantom Sand, yeah. This is Phantom
Yeah.
Sand. So, his spawns are RNG, but the fight itself is consistent by now. He has a similar mechanic to Death Sword in the sense that if you never finish a combo, or do a specific amount of damage, like here with 2 quick spins, he will never go in this super random phase where he like spawns around like crazy, and he will constantly be stuck in this phase, and you can finish him off in 3 cycles, like here.
Yeah, just make this fight super quick, because sometimes Zen can spawn also like a bunch of mobs all around that you have to kill.
So yeah, Palace of Twilight is a special dungeon in the sense that there's basically no glitches and a shit ton of movement optimization. Right there, Case Master actually instantly claw shotted the soul, and he actually rolled in the wrong direction. The soul before Midnight text popped up. Here, he actually claw shotted the soul, and then removed the camera lock, held back on the control stick, and then activated the camera lock again. And this made him L-slide, as we call it. This basically allows you, while being in the claw shot animation, to slide a little. It's just a tiny, tiny bit, but it saves a tiny, tiny bit of time. And that's what counts in a speedrun.
Yep. Fun fact though, those enemies in the rooms can also sometimes push the souls away. Those orbs. Ooh, he almost got hit there. That's a bad spot because sometimes you just gonna assume you're not getting get it and you jump down, and you have to make your way. Well, you have to wait till the hand gets the soul back, and then you can hook shot it, claw shot it. Gosh, I keep saying hook shot. I don't know why.
Dang it, Lou.
I'm sorry.
But yeah,
Too many
here.
games with hook shot.
But yeah, again, this is just all about movement. This section is pretty much the same as you do it casually, but you're just doing it fast and optimized. Like,
Yeah,
cutting
second
corners.
section's a little bit better.
Yep. Second section has a few more tiny things to it. But yeah, here we just make sure to have good movement. Like here, yeah, he barely missed it. If you roll correctly, you can actually land on the platform with the final roll in the cutscene, or into the cutscene. This allows you to claw to LJA earlier.
Oh yeah, this very first room where Cash is for this section can be a little bit annoying because where the ad's gonna spawn is not always the same spot. But that was pretty good, I guess, there. Because sometimes it's gonna be at the very end of the room, and by the time you're making it, you might not be able to hit it, and then it's gonna warp back somewhere else. And it could be in the middle of the platform, or in the same spot. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, this black fog right there is just gonna force Link to switch to Wolf. Recording. Good. So no one can call you a cheater, I guess. Right, so right there the key was not in the same place as all the other ones. There's a neat LG you can do. You can also hook shot, claw shot. Oh my god. You can also like be on the very edge and claw shot. You kind of have to do it blind because the wall is a little is in your way, but it's also a possibility if you're not feeling comfortable with the LGA there. Anyway, there's a second Zen fight here. Fight is pretty much the same. Ooh. He had the time to spawn Shadow Beast. That's kinda... It's gonna be just a little bit annoying. But shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. Just PB again. Easier said than done sometimes. Oh yeah, I didn't talk about it, but there's a strat with those 3 heads where that Bruggles just did that. Because each heads needs 2 mina dashes. But if you dash on a specific one first, you can hit 2 of them twice, and then the last one you can just dash again right away and kill it.
New game. Oh, by the way, folks, while he's talking about it, we'll get another midnight emote.
Nice. I actually love it so much that midnight emote that my... Actually, well, I contacted you to know who made it, because I won an emote from her too.
That's Milky.
Yeah. She's an amazing artist.
And Milky will do the new one as well.
Nice.
Milky will do ZSR Gasp, which will be Midna gasping. And we
cool.
actually took a scene out of Twilight Princess as like the design we have in mind. So there's 3 more emotes coming within the next 2 weeks. But yeah, Case Master actually finishing up the final room with the soul. And now he will be able to get butter on his sword. It's actually the light sword, but once you see how the sword looks, you all know why we call it the butter sword.
Speaking of more emotes.
Why is this not working?
I don't know.
Oh, bot is dead. Great.
About PPNs. Yeah, right there what Bruggles did is dropping the soul, and before it activates actually like those stairs, you had the time to roll on them. Saving him a little bit of movement to do.
But yeah, this sword actually drips like crazy. It looks like butter.
It's flashy, that's for sure. But yeah, that second part of the dungeon now is... There's a little bit more stuff going on. What? Cool, people have finished Twilight Princess in under 2 hours. Confirmed on ZSR stream. Hopefully, Trez will fix that.
I'm working on it.
But yeah, those rooms pretty much you had to do place 2 souls again to activate stairs. But then there's other platforms where you only have to hit like those orbs, and additional platforms will spawn. And okay, he's gonna play it safe. Oh no, wait, never mind. There's a chest there. I was thinking about something else. Okay, made it in time because those orbs have a time limit for how long they're gonna stay lit, and as long as they're lit, the platform is gonna be there and be activatable. But yeah, those rooms also have like LGAs that you can do. It saves a little bit of time.
Yep.
But if you fail them, you fall all the way back and have to redo everything.
So this room right here, or this area right here where Case Master is, is actually one of the more optimized rooms in the entire game. There's so many things you need to do. You need to grab the boss key, you need to grab or kill a lot of Zend heads, and you actually need to basically reset the room once to get it in the right state. So what we first do, there's 2 ways of doing it. Case Master actually doing the Mofall, like the second way of doing it, which is killing the Sandhead right here first. He needed to wait a little before voiding out, because if he voids out too quickly, the Sandhead will not be dead yet and just respawn. Doing this actually spawns the Sandheads right here, right next to him, but before he kills him, he will actually use the claw shot, the butter sword to make the fog disappear to see where he needs to aim. He'll use the claw shot to aim through the fog and actually towards the target and claw shot up and get the boss key right here. From here, he will actually just roll down, or not even that, but actually jump slash down to get the Zend heads down. There's 3 more spawning here. You'll get those with a quick spin, and that's it for these Zend heads. That's just really optimized movement, and he will land right in front of the small key chest. This room is optimized to the maximum. Although, if you think about it, this next room is even worse.
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that one.
Yep. So this is the early platform room, as we call it. There's a lot of platform shenanigans right here. And you can make a platform cycle earlier than intended that saves 12 seconds if you have basically perfect movement. So you kill these shadow beasts, use an audio cue to hear when they spawn. You actually... Ooh, and that might already be it. Case Master just went forward a little too much, but it still could be fine. So you jump forward at a specific frame here, you climb up, you use the boomerang to do an LJA, jump on this platform, and he overshot.
Yeah, it's super easy to miss that one.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure why he didn't see up for the boomerang. If he did, he would have gotten it. Oh! And Brugel's actually missed the jump. So this is now not possible to get early platform anymore. By the way, the thing I just talked about with C-upping, with all items that go into first person once you want to use them, claw shot, and
Bow.
boomerang are the 2 really important ones. Bow as well, which you don't get in any percent. You can skip the animation of like the camera zooming in by just using C-up, which is instant, and that's always a tad faster. So he'll get the final small key of this dungeon, and then we are off to Zand, doing one more LJA here. This one is pretty free. Just don't do it too early.
Yeah, just aim at the corner and wait.
This next room always looks cool because in a speedrun, you just perfectly time your quick spins or your spins to kill the shadow beasts, basically falling down from the top, and you basically kill them before they even hit the floor. But it's pretty easy. As soon as you hear the popping sound of the last shadow beast you just killed, you can just jump attack and quick spin and it will work.
Yeah, the first one's probably the hardest to get since there's no like real queue to it.
Yep. Also, since Cops just mentioned it, yes, we still have another sub goal. 109 subs more will get us a Breath of the Wild randomizer race between me and Mr. Cops, who actually is making fun of me constantly, so...
Nice,
Now,
no Breath of the Wild.
Here is a Zand. So, the Zand fight is definitely the coolest in Breath of the Wild. It's also the longest.
It's the most fun I feel like to do in the entire game though. Also optimizing the strats is really fun for this one.
Yep. So this is basically a recap of all the fights in the entire game, most of which we didn't even do. We start with Forest Temple, which is the first one we didn't do. There is a 1 cycle here. This actually looks exactly like the boss room from Forest Temple.
Oh, we missed it.
Yo, this is quite a boomer. We losing quite a bit of time, actually. There is a 1 cycle here, but it's frame perfect, and it's really weird, so nobody does it. Because it's basically impossible. Second phase is the Gorn Mines phase. This is another... this is actually the arena of the mini-boss, not of the boss itself. And there is a 1 cycle, and Case actually got that. This is not easy either. It's a 2-frame window, I believe, or 1 frame. And you need to do like some stalling of the combo by using a quick, like a spin attack animation.
Mm-hmm.
He got it. This one we did do. This is Morpheal and the Water's End phase, and this is the final usage of the water bombs, because again, we are on a tight timer with the air, so we need to refresh our air using the water bombs. He does a quick combo there to have enough air. So basically, depending on which directions you hold on the control stick, Link's /animation will take shorter or faster. In this case, he does right, left, up and down, and it will make the combo a little faster. Here, it's actually not RNG, which Zend is spawning in, but it will be the one that you are the furthest away from the moment that the eyes actually come out of the floor. So we manipulate that and use our final bomb at the moment that this is decided, and it allows us to have plenty of air for the final hits. This is another forest sample phase for Ook in this case, which we did. It even has the Ook music, which is nice. And this is where we can again use the ball and chain. We wouldn't need to, but we do use it. And now, I said it earlier. What did I say earlier, Lou? Do you remember?
You said it's the only time we use the ball and chain there.
Correct! This is the fight why we need to get the stupid ball and chain.
Although we did use the ball and chain in Arbiter's Ground.
Yeah, but we wouldn't have to.
Just messing with you.
This right here, like legit, there's nothing else that damages him. And this is sad.
Yeah, it's really annoying. Because you could skip like Snow Peak. But
probably like 15 minutes of gameplay, yeah.
Yeah.
It's really sad.
One that you'll skip Zand. Just clip in Hyrule Castle.
And here's the final fight. Here's the final fight against Zand. There's a setup by SVA again that allows us to make this actually not easy fight. It's actually not easy. Super consistent and easy to do, and it's quick as shit.
Yeah, it's worth saying that Zand only takes damage on the last hit of a full combo.
Oh yeah, good point.
So this is why Cashwood just swings around.
Yep, it's a really weird, concept, I want to say.
Yeah.
But, yeah. By the way, while we're on it, I'm actually gonna switch back to Simikins, because he's back up and Mofat is a bit behind the others. Simikins had to lower his bitrate, but he is back. On Brugel's side, you actually can see the fight with Zora armor, which again is a lot easier.
You're much easier.
Don't get me wrong, it's not that hard with bombs, but
It's just a little bit more tedious, and if you're not comfortable with it, why not just being lazy, you know?
So now that we finished all the dungeons, we are off to Hyrule Castle to beat Ganon. We need to do one more mailman skip, which is what Case Master will do right here. So we go to this post, to the third one actually. And yeah, basically just throw the boomerang, wait for it to go out of bounds and jump over it. That's it.
Never saw the postman. Never will. He's actually taking like pretty long time if you like see him every time.
Yeah, he takes forever.
It looks like he's running, but he's just jogging, which is even worse.
So Simikins actually messed up his aspect ratio a bit, I believe, so it will look a little funky, but that's fine.
It works.
No, actually he didn't. Why is this looking so weirdly?
Yeah, it's on you. Also, oh yeah, the cutscene right there with Midnight is pretty much the
Okay,
only
pretty good.
time of the run you can actually do something but playing the game, like going to the bathroom or drinking water.
Scripted Pikey on a Mayman cutscene takes roughly 20 seconds, if I remember correctly. So that's how much you lose. And there's multiple of these skips. Alright, introducing the final sexual fantasy of this game. Welcome to Squidna. Squidna is hard, if you're into that kind of stuff. I'm not, so...
Why would you even bring that up? How much did you drink?
But yeah, Squidna actually takes down the barrier.
Come save me, Cubs.
No, Cubs, stay out. Nah, but normal Midnight is way cuter. So we'll actually have 3 people out of Palace of Twilight before the first one enters Hyrule Castle. That's for TP race, this is surprisingly close.
Yeah, Bruggles and Cash were like super close at some point, but then I guess Cash consistency proved to be better.
Yep. Alright, so now we entered Hyrule Castle, and there's so many things to talk about here. So first, Nintendo actually got sick of their own game and got super lazy. All of these barriers outside of the castle are skippable. All of these. This first one is too hard to skip, so we don't do it. We just use a bomb to blow all of these up. One thing you need to know about Hyrule Castle is that all enemies are reused. We all know these enemies, but they all have like a billion times more HP. So this is the second barrier. Nintendo's bad, so if we just roll back, we can just roll around it. Nice barrier skip.
Yeah, there's like no collision upside and inside, so...
Yeah, and they spawn way too late.
Oh yeah. That's the biggest thing, I think.
So now, for the fourth time in the entire game... Sorry, by the way, my voice is kind of dead. I'm still a little bit sick, so it's not as great anymore, but I hope you're managing with me. So, final time to fight King Boblin 4. Oh, and Case actually attacked him early there twice.
Come save me, Torp. I'm Elda stage.
So, in this case, you actually need to evade him once, because else he will kill you. And that's all for the fight. And this is the cutest scene, because now after getting beaten 4 times, he actually smiles and says, okay, you're the better fighter. Just take this key. I'm done. Such a nice guy.
I think it was last year someone was practicing on HD and the key was just like laying around.
Yep.
Like before the fight. That was weird.
Alright, so right here there's one frame where you can backflip or use the iron boots to get into the air. And if you manage to pause the game and save warp before a Link touches the ground, you skip the Migna text. But it didn't happen this time, so yeah. So now, wow, Audie, okay.
He tried to save frames there.
Ooh.
Oh. Oh, okay. I think clipped in.
That could have been bad. If he actually got knocked a bit more to the side, he would have been pushed inside the barrier. And then he would have had to save warp for sure. Alright, one more barrier. This is the third one. And if you actually clip inside this barrier and have to fight, you just better save warp, because this fight takes minutes. It's actually insane how long this fight takes.
Long.
But you just need to jump attack inside this corner, or into this corner, and you will actually spawn outside. Claw shots here.
Oh, what? I've never seen one of them getting up there before. It's not like it also take like a million years to set that up.
Yep. And now we're coming up for the first Dark Nut fight in the game that we actually do. You can skip this Dark Nut fight, just not in any percent because you need a hidden skill for it. But we are fast at doing it. Roll slash, or roll stab to begin. One more phrase until his armor is off. And then we just use the ball and chain because it's fast. And that's it.
Yeah, ball and chain does so much damage to some of the enemies.
I mean, now that we had to get it, might as well just use it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny, I keep seeing Simikins doing Wii strats just because he's used to Wii.
Wii is like an entire different speed game. It's insane.
Yep. It's
Like you look
really
at HD, it's fine. Like it used pretty much the same like basics, and then you look at Wii and it's just not the same at all.
Yep. There's actually more things that the HD route and SD have in common than SD, GameCube, and Wii. Alright. So, this room right here, where you just lure these two Dinolfos in, because apparently they like bombs. And they just run into you and die. Why not? And since we were cheap earlier and just skipped Arielphos, he was like, yeah, no, screw you, I'm fighting you again. And this time we can't even skip him. Sadly, he's not much of a challenge. Because we have the ball and chain. And this is the... Ooh, he actually missed that. Ooh, yeah, and he's not used to that fight, I believe, anymore. He will still get to one cycle. Oh, no, he won't.
No.
That's a big time loss, actually.
Shouldn't be too bad though.
Yeah, he's far enough ahead for it not to matter. But that's actually quite a time loss.
Mm-hmm.
So, we get the small key. And now we roll over. You think, hey, why are you not transforming Wolf? This is quite some way to roll. Wolf is actually stupid slow in Hyrule Castle, so it's not worth it. And now, we're getting into an ambush. But luckily, there's people to bail us out. And we didn't even meet them yet. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, Moffat is also racing.
Moffat is racing, and Pitsker was racing, but he had to forfeit. But yeah, Moffat, she is like, I want to say, a couple of minutes, not much. Maybe 2 or 3 minutes behind Nimzo. But yeah, these people, we have never met them. Besides the guy with the bird. Just some weird people. But yeah, they allow us to get the boss key. And this is the final boss key of the game. By the way, world record... world record is already done for 4 minutes at this point. And it's not even that modern anymore. Like, if... You could probably shave off another minute if you really, really, really got a perfect run.
Yeah, it's insane how the run's optimized. By the way, is there any French in the the TP bracket?
I don't know.
Because Torps loves racing French people. He
Top
never
also
loses
loves
to them.
Top also loves dropping all bombs in Snowfield.
That's also true.
But yeah, these are the final, basically the gauntlet of Twilight Princess, you might want to call it. You could actually skip using the claw shot and the spinner here. Both are possible to skip.
Torp is safe from the French this time around.
But since we have them, it's easier to just not skip them. Here you need to wait for the proper cycle. And he gets
Oh
it.
yeah, you can stall with the spinner.
Yep.
Something I didn't know until I ran this game.
And this right here is like one of the stupidest tricks that was found way too late. It was only be found a few years ago randomly by DF when he was doing glitchless runs. And we actually used to do this Dark Knight fight again. Until DF just claw-shotted the lantern and saved like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I wonder if the Nintendo themselves like knew that it was possible, or they just didn't care.
Probably not.
Should save your voice a bit.
Yeah, I might not be able to commentate tomorrow. Alright. So, Zelda fight. This is Zelda. As said, Zelda is useless as shit. And now she's
Ganon.
actually Ganon's marionette, so she's actually fighting against us.
Yeah, I
So-
like the German name.
So she has 3 different attack patterns. This was the light ball, which is the one we need. We need to hit her with these 3 times. Then there's the area attack, which is then the Triforce attack that we just got, which is the slowest. And then there's her charge. The best possible cycle that we can get, or best possible amount of cycles, is 7 cycles. So far, Case Master got it perfectly. So, how the pattern works is, first, once you get a ball, between the first and the second ball there needs to be at least 1 different attack. And then between the second and the third there needs to be at least 3 different attacks. Which means 7 cycles is the best. But there's a lot of variance, because the time between the cycles where Zelda's just flying around, just like now, is random. And the triangle attack, which Case Master is constantly getting, is slower than the charge attack.
It's
So,
also very laggy.
yep. That's why he's looking away. And another Triforce attack.
Unlucky then. Yeah.
So this is, if he gets a 7th cycle now. Wait, there's 1 more attack left, right?
I think so, yeah.
No, this is a 7th cycle, but a really slow 7th cycle in that.
It's funny how runners ever split just for Zelda herself.
I mean-
so much to lose to her.
Yeah, that's just to see how the RNG was, I guess. Alright, so second phase is the Beast Cannon phase. This is, you don't need the ball and chain here, it's just convenient to use. There's another really nice way to manipulate him, similar to, wow, similar
He
to
just stood there.
the Death Sword fights, for example. Where you just do 4 individual slashes, a jump attack, and a full combo, and this will make it consistent. So Beast Ganon is actually in his final phase with only 1 attack left, and that will make him instantly come out of the portal instead of warping around randomly. And yeah, Nimzo and Brugels are like only 20 seconds apart.
It's gonna come down to Zelda.
And here, final attack. 1 V attack will do it, and boom, and that's it for Beast Cannon. While Simikins is finishing off Zand, and Nimzo and Brugels are both in Zelda. So depending on the RNG, Brugels could actually be easily ahead of Nimzo after this. So I didn't check the RNG yet. I believe both got. Brugels just got a first try ball, and Nimzo got some on 1 and 3. And that's the charge on Nimzo's screen I was talking about. That's faster than the area attack from Zelda. Audi just got into the horseback fight. So Zelda needs to hit him with the light arrow 3 times, and then you can actually hit him. The hits by Zelda are not RNG. You can actually influence it with the camera. And this will be, if I checked it correctly, I didn't watch correctly. This should be a 305.30, no, 25 for Case Master.
I mean, you can stall a bit.
If he's doing it correctly and perfectly, it's 1 minute and 8 seconds from final hit to end of run.
Yeah. It's probably one of the best fight setting in any 3D Zelda game with Ganondorf, and yet you can just cheese it. Although it's still cool, like the way it looks.
Wait, what? And boom, GG.
Damn.
3:05:15. GG to Case Master.
GG. That was a pretty solid run overall, except like of a few things, obviously. But
The first half was actually really, really good. He was probably ahead, I want to say, of his PB, maybe even for a while. Or at least close. But yeah, then it kind of broke apart around Lake Bed. And yeah, Brugels and Nimzo are super close. Both of them are in Beast Ganon. And we'll actually swap out Case Master for Mofat so we can see Mofat as well. And we'll switch to Nimzo's audio for now. Mofat just got his small key. And these two, look at them. They are like a second apart.
it's insane, yeah.
And apparently both of them messed up the combo. They're like a second apart.
Yeah, that's gonna come down to their aim, I guess, if one misses or not.
Okay, so this is actually coming down to horseback RNG and performance here. So
Meanwhile,
Nimzo
you can
actually
see
made quite a bit of...
again.
Yeah, true. Nimzo actually made up quite a bit of time. Oh, and Brugels gets knocked off, and that's bad. He actually got a different pattern than Nimzo. Nimzo's was easier to handle.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
and
He got
this-
sniped on the...
this is basically the worst luck you can have here. It's not that easy. That fight looks easier than it is. And Nimzo basically got the absolutely perfect fight, and he will get a low 308. Should be 308.28 or
Man,
something.
Ruggles really got robbed there, I feel like.
He did, and he's not even getting a 308 with this, sadly, because he got robbed. He easily lost, like, yeah, he lost like 40 seconds almost to the fight.
Was still pretty good, man. It was overall not a bad run, I feel like. Same for Nimzo, it was cut up so quick towards the end.
Meanwhile, Mofat is in a block room. By the way, this is funny. So in this room, there's invisible mice, and if you don't do it correctly, they will just annoy you. Nimzo actually messed up the final fight. And that's it for Nimzo. It's a 308.41 in the end.
GG. Boom. Third place, Bruggles. That was very close with Nimzo. Until Art's back. Yeah, GG.
All right. So Mofat just entered the final
Ooh, that's
boss
scary for
door
Simikins
as
there.
well. While Simikins is still doing the barriers. And there, did you see that break slide? We have not talked about it earlier. So there is some movement tag that was found not too long ago for TP standards. It's
For TPs.
which is break sliding, which basically turns around the movement values. Like you use ESS position and a button combination to actually slide backwards as Link, or like to walk backwards. And for like slopes that go upwards, instead of decreasing your speed, which normal walking would, it increases your speed and vice versa. It's barely used in RTA just because it's hard to use in a way that helps. But it's a thing. So yeah, Mofat now in her final Zelda fight, getting another ball here. And Simikins actually got the safe warp. Nice. Simikins got a lot of the cool and swaggy strats that nobody else got in this race, including the Death Sword skip, this one here.
Yeah, that was epic.
I mean, the most epic thing was obviously Burgles getting the Epona sled across the gorge
Oh, I forgot about
with,
that one.
with
Yeah.
Epona. But that's fine. So let me check if this is a PB for anybody. I'm not even sure if Nimzo has his time on the leaderboards. For Burgles, it's definitely not a PB. For Case, it's definitely not a PB. For
Looks like
Simikins,
Simikins.
this obviously will be a PB. And for Mofat, it won't be a PB. So, not a PB race today. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see.
Maybe. Torp will get sub 3 hours. Just watch.
And yeah, Simikins also got the opponents across the gorge, by the way.
Ooh.
GG Nimzo,
Getting-
thanks for participating, I wanted to say. GG.
GG on the race. So many runs, by the way.
Mofat did mess up the strat a bit, apparently.
Yeah, it looks like it. How many runs do the runner have to do now to qualify, I guess?
There's no qualification, there's just for seeding, so
Okay.
they basically just, if they want to participate, they can influence their seed with this, and if they don't, they will just get their PB applied for seeding plus a penalty.
I see.
And they can only participate in one of these.
Damn, the lantern puzzle. Let's go.
Alright, horseback for Mofat. We'll see how she does.
Oh. Ganondorf is mean today.
Yeah, he's out for blood. See, look at that. He's out for blood, though.
He was so close. Damn, I'm surprised I didn't tackle.
Wow, and that snipe by Zelda, though. Like, instant. Yeah, you can participate, Audi. It just won't count. That's correct. Wait, did that actually miss? No, it looked like it missed.
I don't know.
And Zelda got it in, and this is gonna be...
Yep.
It's barely a 315. But a 315 is a 315 is a 315.
That's gonna be Simikin's turn soon to get saved by strangers.
Yep. Alright, and this is... Don't get distracted by the timer. This is still a 315. 315.53. GG to Mofat. Finishing in
GG.
4th place. And yeah, Simikin seems to be around pace for 324, 25. And we'll actually go over and do something else. And since it's only Simikins left, we'll do this. And switch to the single player layout and give him his proper showing. And yes, no worries, I will fix the cropping.
Widescreen.
And yes, he's still playing 60 by 9. Give me just...
It doesn't look too terrible. I've seen worse in some games.
It still does look pretty terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Looks
he
like he
avoided.
failed during the... Yeah.
There you go.
Struggling a little bit with the fight, but still gonna make it. This claw shot right there is so annoying to get quick.
Yep. By the way, Audi, do you think you could have saved this if you actually decided to swim a little bit forward using Iron Boots? I was wondering that. I imagine it could have worked, but you actually decided to just try it.
That would have been quite something if you would have got like the ending blow, I guess, on Morpheal.
Yeah, I know. Alright, Simikins is extra careful here, probably because he's not entirely sure where the trigger is. And you just don't want to walk inside.
Yeah. If you walk inside, you just forced to fight the Dark Knot. But considering you already fought one, it's pretty much the same with this one, so it's just as easy.
And bonk. Simi, come on, you can do it. Come on, chat, give it up for Simikins. He actually is doing the Wii version, and only Wii version usually. So he's not a normal or your typical GameCube runner. And he's doing a fantastic job, and he will get a big PB here.
Yeah, it's actually not... Considering you don't run the GameCube version usually, it's pretty good.
And that's the first cycle ball. So he has a chance for a 7th cycle. What's cycle number 2? Gonna be... It's a triangle. So yeah, you actually look away and just see up to lower lag. There's not much that it helps, but... Another ball, so we are still good. And another break slide. There was 4. That's 5. And yes, you can actually block her attack with the ball
I
and chain.
didn't know that.
Yep.
That's cool.
Ball and chain is actually the better shield. That's 6. Wow, actually standing right inside. Now, Zelda, give us a 7. Give us a 7! 7th cycle! Pog. We actually got 3 7th cycles, I believe, on the restream. That's crazy.
Yeah. Pretty good RNG overall, except for
The most common,
the
the most common is the 9 cycle, by the way. Just RNG wise.
How much time does it lose on average?
Nah, it's hard to say because the cycles are like so widely ranged regarding time.
Yeah, that's why I said on average.
I can't tell you.
Okay. Fair enough, though.
So this is the corner strat that we didn't see on Case Master stream. So SVA found that it's slightly faster, only slightly, to actually do this, and it looks freaking amazing when Beast Cannon basically jumps inside your face.
I didn't get hit too there.
Good. And now it's just 1.
This is gonna shove break slides again. They look so clean too.
Yep. And that's it for Beast Cannon. And boom!
No, is he gonna get a good Orsback fight though? That's been a game changer tonight.
True. So let's see what we got. Beast Cannon, there is actually a consistent strat for Beast Cannon as well, that SVA found, where you can actually move in specific patterns depending on the RNG that you get. But I believe nobody's really doing it because it's really complicated and really hard to follow. But it's there. And... Oh.
That just happens, I guess.
Yeah, and it was close. He almost saved it. But that's still an okay Ganondorf fight, so... And that's a 324. As Case Master actually mentioned, if he gets a perfect fight, this is 324. And this actually puts Simic in, if he submits this, this actually puts him in 55th place. Right behind Orchestra. You bopped Zelkis.
People really gotta pick on Zelkius, right?
Yeah, sure.
Even in Breath of the Wild, it's always, haha, you directly could get fight. It's like, ah, damn. He's a nice dude, though.
Alright, and with that, we are done for seeding race number 1. I hope you all enjoyed it. GG to Simikins. And he
Nah,
forgot to do
GG.
dot done. Simikins, do dot done. In SRL.
Otherwise runs are
Simi!
over.
You need to get back into SRL. And do the dot done. Yeah, you need to do it though. What?
Wait, there's no code?
What? SOL minus WM0UO. But yeah, okay, we'll just go back to the screen. Simkins is still showing up as running because he didn't finish yet, but yeah. We'll obviously take his final time, which should be like a 3:24:45 or something. He can actually tell me later. But yeah, that was the first of 2 seeding races for Wolf Stage number 2. Lou,
Yeah,
thank you.
no problem.
My voice is dead.
I saw you all alone. I was like, yeah, if you want someone, I'll join. I have 3 hours to kill.
My voice is dead.
Yep.
But it's fine. I hope you all enjoyed it.
So many things.
I mean, that's how I usually commentate. You know me.
Yeah.
I just really tried to give... No! Civicans, you still didn't do it. Get into the room, inside the room and do it, please.
The race will never finish.
But yeah, I hope you all enjoyed it. This was Twilight Princess Any Percent, race number 1. After the 2 races, there we go. After the 2 seeding races, the actual brackets will start. So expect more news and more on that tomorrow. And I hope you all enjoyed it. Thanks everyone for watching. Let me actually see who I'm gonna raid here. We need to raid someone. Oh, I know whom I'm gonna raid. Alright. Thanks everyone for watching. And see you all tomorrow.
Hey, peace everyone.